nasty ass brain.
Thank
So
y'all.
we finna get on ahead and get into the get in. So introduce yourself to the heat. Tell us your name, genre, and what kind of heat you bring to your book. Do you identify more with slow burn, high spice, or downright nasty? And who is your ideal reader when it comes to the sex scene?
Who is our ideal? Who?
Who's
Ooh.
your ideal reader when it comes to the sex scene? Do you want a freaky bitch or the bitch that's in the church? Which one? Which one?
I
Please.
guess I'll start. I'm Author Kold, write urban fiction. Um, I forgot all the other questions you said, but the reader I have in mind, like I don't do slow burns. I be with like the nasty shit. I feel like, and my ideal reader, I just want a freaky motherfucker like me.
Wherefore, Lord.
Okay, I guess we're gonna go in order. I'm Blossom, a Blossom. All right. I don't even know why Storm asked me to be here, honestly. And
Girl, please.
Bitch. Ooh,
I write black romance. Um, and I know I want the church girls. Hmm
Me too.
I want the church girls to read.
she wants a church girl so she can turn them out. That's what
She
it is.
already be
Cause
turned.
I'm on. I like people to be like, what? What is this?
All right, T Lynn, because she's lying.
I'm
Yeah.
T Lynn. I write urban romance. I think I don't know. I probably attract like both parties, baby. With mine, and I don't know spice level. I told y'all I be thinking my shit vanilla, but y'all obviously think otherwise.
India? Now, please don't get up here lying like the other two.
Yeah, India can't lie now,
Huh? What?
cause all she write is.
The last three cannot lie about shit.
Um. Hi, I'm India. Uh, I don't know what they talking about because I really feel like it's vanilla too. Um, I'm trying to attract everybody, all the freaks, the hidden freaks, out loud freaks, everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody who want to take a chance on my book. That's
She right nasty as fuck, y'all. Don't even believe. Even the titles be nasty.
It's very nasty, y'all.
What?
I don't know about the titles, but I'm very, very, very vanilla. I'm honored to be here among all y'all. And
Bunch of lying going on today.
oh
What?
my god,
She be splitting them in half in her book. What the hell? Get the fuck- Masterpiece, you next. Because this is some talk show.
I know
So
she ain't
I'm
gonna lie.
Masterpiece. I write urban romance. I write erotica. I write dark romance, a little sci-fi. I wouldn't say church girl because I write about all type of female characters. They can be scared, shy, but at the end of it, they gonna get broke.
They definitely are.
Uh, come on, E.
I like to break
Tell
them.
us the truth. Tell us the truth, E. Tell us the truth.
I'm E. Bowser, and I write paranormal romance, fantasy, horror, and urban erotica. And I guess I'm like looking for like-minded readers because if you can't hang, I it is what it is. Like if you gonna read the book, you just better be ready and enjoy it. If not, you could try something else.
Facts.
E Bowser get filthy.
Okay.
Nasty. All right. All right. So let's talk about the spice, sex, and erotica. In your mind, do you think that it gets this bad reputation, especially when it comes to black people writing, those type of spice scenes, that type of sexiness. So can your spice be playful? Can your sex scenes, can it serve a plot? And can the erotica stand alone as a genre itself when you write it?
Oh, you
I
asking hard questions.
Okay,
I think
no,
it's
it's
I know they
I
heard.
thought
What
this was
study
just
guide? What study guide?
she said she gonna
I
leave.
think it's levels to it. I don't know. I think like I don't like the soft stuff. Like I feel like everybody got some kind of freak in their mind, and they
Mhm.
just be scared to let it out. But you know what I'm saying? Stop being scared all your life. You know what I'm saying? Go and live one time.
Yeah. I like to pique readers' interest in things that they are. I like to pique their interest, and when they be surprised by, let me reword that. So pique their interest in the things that they are ashamed to admit that they search on P Hub is the
Mm-hmm.
things that you will find in my book.
Be on
Mm.
the XXX.
Yeah, that exactly.
Woo, Jesus.
I feel like it can stand in a genre of its own.
Yes.
It depends the mood I'm in because I can try to do an erotica with just nothing but that, but I have to have a storyline in place too. It's still like a lesson learned while you like, damn, I never tried this before. Kind of like get you going, get you thinking about the possibilities of what, like, damn, what if this was me? What if I could do this, or what if I could try this, or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree, and I think sex is a lifestyle, or at least part of one. So,
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
and it's a very big part of our adult, especially if you're in a relationship, you're married or anything like that. So, it's a part of your relationship. So yeah.
Hmm.
I totally agree. Let the smut sorceress with I get three dicks at once in. Go ahead, Aria. Tell us who you are. Do you write spice? What type of reader are you looking for to read your book? How slutty does it get?
Hi, I'm ARIA DAZE. I am a fat black woman who writes happily ever afters for other fat black women. It is very spicy. I think that's pretty much what I'm known for at this point. I don't think I will ever write anything different, but I'm
Hold
looking
on, is this
for
this is the one that wrote the book?
oh
With
Lord.
the This is the one that wrote the with the it was three the was she they hot with a hockey player and she was the mascot.
Oh yeah, one for the team.
Yes.
Wait,
Oh
wait,
my
wait. Let me go
god.
there. I'm on my computer
Girl.
right now. Hold on.
Yes. Oh
I thought you
my
was about to get me for a group trip because that's been going
god.
around
One
now because you've been
second.
talking about me for
Is that
that
the one
one.
with the three?
She
Yeah,
posted that on Threads, and I immediately
group
had to
trip.
go and see what the first page had me like. Wait, I had to go get that.
She nasty. She nasty
You
too.
got paperbacks available, Aria?
For which one?
For the one for the team.
I'm gonna have them at Black Romance Book Fest. I might also do a special.
I'm gonna
I
be over
know.
there.
Listen,
Why didn't I know you were gonna be it?
I didn't either, but I'm gonna be at her table.
Yeah. You
So,
put me some books to
listen.
the
I've
side
been
too.
Niggas, y'all deviating from the damn plot.
Oh,
okay,
I'm sorry. I
sorry.
need a paperback, girl. You need to get in my. I need to get in your inbox because I'm not gonna be at romance.
listen. Send me a DM, but I am gonna probably do special editions with spicy drawings in them because I have gotten a lot of requests to do a second run, and I either will partner with Shannon so they're an exclusive on her site. But
Okay.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm writing that right now on my sticky pad. Put it on my computer right now.
And shameless plug to my business partner. Her bookstore is called The Literary DFW. If you are an author looking to get your book put in a book box that is created, curated, and by her, you can reach her at Big I Read Books. Thank you very much. Okay, next question. Um, how does the energy shift when a female main character is carrying the sex scene versus a male main character? How does that look different to y'all when y'all have the females really putting it on?
can I answer this one?
Yeah.
Mm.
Go
I
ahead.
feel like I feel like a lot of people expect women to be very demure, very not, just kind of lay there and take it to not give direction or anything. But for me, especially when it's coming to reading books, I want to be in La La Land. I don't care if y'all don't think women don't take charge. I don't want to read that. I want to hear that she grabbing people by the nuts, telling who where to go, when, and how to eat it and beat it, and that's what I want to see. So for me, um, it feels kind of right because I feel like a lot of times when we think about women, we think of them like these delicate, untouched flowers, and the men are just these big macho men. But in real life, it don't work that way. So for me, it's
It
just a
definitely
little more
don't.
realistic.
Mm-hmm. And you know, a lot of
That for
readers,
me.
some readers, they like to complain about, oh, she was too aggressive, she was too this. But it's
Mm-hmm.
women that's really like that. It's
Mhm.
women that will tell you how they want it, when they want it, what you need to
Mhm.
do, how you need to fix your
And
stroke,
sometimes you
and
gotta tell
everything
it.
else.
Sometimes you have to tell a man how to do it.
Exactly. So you can teach them how to navigate you.
Exactly.
So,
So, Cole, what you got to say from a male perspective?
Saying what kind of non-informed people are y'all talking about? Um,
Listen, they get with the
It's a
lady
lot of them.
authors.
It's a lot of
look,
non-informed people
Yeah.
look,
out there.
yeah, all right, but I'm saying me, I've been informed since, man, snatching my dad's like dirty book from under the bed. You know what I'm saying? And taking them to school and trying to teach other kids shit
Why
I
did
ain't
I
know
let
about
this
yet.
man on this live?
But I'm saying,
This terrifies me because I got sons. And I just, please, Lord, don't let me get a phone call like that.
Okay.
I'm saying like
But
I
Cole,
know,
as a man, you write female characters and you write them getting dick the fuck down and they back beating every which way. So
yeah.
how do you make sure that you also give power to the female as a male author writing those type of scenes?
I'm also I agree that you know a lot of if the male's version of it is them like initiating it, uh but I don't know, I try to do the balance because I really try to base it off of like experiences I've had with females.
Mhm.
You know, and I don't know a lot of females that like initiate nothing like from down here, you know, so I need to travel more. But then again, they only get 72 hours, you know what I'm saying? So, uh, maybe they gotta get comfortable or whatever. But me, I'm going to say what I want off the muscle, and is she with it or she ain't? If she ain't with it, then she probably got a friend that is with it. So I'm gonna go after that
I am
friend.
crying.
oh, you one of
Uh,
those.
yeah, I am
So,
proud.
let me ask
I
y'all
am.
this: what the way each one of y'all write your sex scenes is always different, and some of y'all are more like I'm gonna beat that pussy up, and then some of y'all like slut me out, point blank period. So how do you determine
Masterpiece
if your
One.
sex scenes are perfect for that book without minimizing the plot of the story, especially with black stories? Because unfortunately, we always have an extra layer of some shit on top of our shit when we write shit.
I think that I think that it depends on your characters, what their story is, who your characters are,
Mhm.
what their relationship is, and and most importantly, what's going on like leading up to that scene. So, I mean, if it's their first time, maybe they gonna make love, or maybe they just got out of a heated argument. It's gonna be like some, he taking her to Pound Town type shit. I think it just depends on the vibe of your characters at that moment when you're writing the scene.
I
Mm.
agree, and it also depends
Yeah.
on who your character is as a person. Because I write people that have like a lot of either just mental stuff going on or just different disabilities, and
Mm.
so especially with like people who have anxiety or something, they not gonna be, super take charge, and they go for men and for women. Like I've written a couple Virgin MMCs, and they like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm just gonna touch something to hold on. So it really does just depend.
Yeah, because I hate when y'all be like, she a virgin, and all of a sudden she's just like, oh, it feels so good. Who lied?
It takes
Yeah.
time.
This nigga got a fucking 10-pound fucking dick damn near. And you talking
So
about it feel good.
I think I've only written about one FMC that's a virgin, and that's in this book that I got coming out now.
Yeah.
And she was like, "That shit hurt. I need to send it some Epsom salt." She was very honest. She was like, "It hurt because it do."
how, how do y'all maintain the double standard that it is with black sex, black eroticism, black BDSM, black everything in between when it comes to sexual anything with our bodies? There's always this layer of judgment that we have as, you as writers, us as readers, but there's always this layer. So how do you deal with that and make sure you maintain true to you who you are as a writer and not give a fuck about what society is saying about black autonomy?
Just
Never,
don't give a fuck. I
never
know
carried
that's
in the
about
first
everybody, all
place.
right.
I make it into my own. Anything that I write, like, even down to the first dark romance I wrote. I know a lot of dark romance, they say run little mouse, they have different quotes and different things, and it's kind of like same thing. I kind of like center it and making it to my own. I do learn, like, as far as the BDSM, before I went into writing it, I had to look into what it was all about because I'm not a part of that lifestyle, but I still turned it around and made it into my own on what my perception of it is. And somebody said, just not give a fuck. I mean, your readers is gonna find you. I tell everybody that it's not for everybody. Some people say my last book is disgusting. It's disturbing. It's all these
It's
different
literally
things,
called Fifth King.
but you still went through it. You still went from part one to part two. So it was something about that book other than it being disgusting and disturbing that made you want to go to the part two and read it. So
I think that sex doesn't have like it's not like a color thing. I know people make it that way, but I mean just how they do it, people that don't look like us do that kind of stuff. We do it too.
Mm-hmm.
We're in that lifestyle and in that world just like any other ethnicity. So,
Oh,
I
I
think
know.
yeah,
and
no,
they just
I know
use
you know.
different words.
I know you know. I'm just saying, like, and I know that's what I think that's what people can't grasp is y'all. You think that shit just based for people that look different from us, like that shit is just meant for them, and we do it too.
There's some freaky niggas out here.
Yeah,
I
Yeah, I
think
mean
one
it's just a
part.
different terminology. People say instead of the D, they say the C. Instead of the P, they say the
Don't
C. It's just
we
different
don't talk about
terminology.
Bruno. That C word. Hang it up.
I can't stand that word.
It gives me
Mm-mm.
rashes on my body. I can't.
it's
Every time I
weird.
see it in a book in my head, I'll be like, "Fuck!" Like you're never. I'll never.
I have a question for E. Bowser. E. Bowser, um, you wrote urban erotica, and yes, Product of the Street is not an urban fiction. I wish y'all stopped saying that. That is an urban erotica. You wrote an urban erotica that talks about BDSM, not in depth, but shit, damn near. how do you how do you maintain the level of the black BDSM culture compared to the white BDSM culture, and make sure your book is sticking to not the stereotypes that the white BDSM culture has, and fixate on the black culture?
I guess it's like, because to be honest, it's really all the same. It's just how you're looking at it. We get a lot of, I guess you could say, flack as
Mm-hmm.
black people and liking the sort of stuff that's like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I guess, not caring what somebody else is going to think, because you're going to find your readers either way. If you don't like it, or if you can't get into it, or if it's too much for you, then it's too much for you. You should be reading romance or something like that. But I don't think it's really based around color.
Mm-hmm.
Is people make it that way
Yeah,
when you should be able to enjoy anything that you want to enjoy. If you like Pum Pum play, then that's what you like. Like, you can't judge anybody else on it. And I think that's the problem in our community, is
Mm-hmm.
that it's not the other people that's judging us, it's us
it's
that's
us.
judging us.
Yeah,
It's definitely a standard that we hold ourselves to kind of. It's a respectability politic thing for me. because you will say that, oh, this is fine, this is okay, but this isn't because it makes us look bad as a community.
Mm-hmm.
And in reality, that's not the case. You just want to uphold this little pristine perception of what we are to try to prove that we deserve something other than what we're getting. And at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, sometimes you just have to say F it. People gonna think what they want to think and just move past it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that there is? Do you feel there is more pressure for Black female characters to be respectable, even when they express pleasure?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
People are like, I can't believe that you wrote a book where a girl is with three bisexual men. And I'm like, why not? Why not?
I
Why
think
she gotta like
I
them
think the
straight?
problem is people act like this stuff is not really happening in real life.
right.
And
Exactly.
that's what it is.
Or they pretending like they wasn't wild back in the day. Maybe you wasn't, but for the most part, you know somebody who was.
Mm-hmm.
You know someone that was out there doing whatever they wanted to do. So to like turn around and be like, oh my God, why would you write somebody doing something like that? Because I did it last night. Like like what's wrong with that? And that's what I don't understand about
I,
people.
I
Like
think it's because it's new to, like, some of this shit is new to some people. Like, it's just unheard of shit, or shit like you said that they've never experienced, but you have. So it's like people are intimidated by things that they don't know and understand, anyways. And
that's true, but we're all grown enough to do research
right,
at that
And we
before
all
you
grown enough to
prejudge
know that nothing under
anything.
the sun. It ain't
I
none of
think the
this.
Black
Yeah.
community does it. I think the Black community, and I ain't talking down on the Black communities before one of you bitches try to report me again. But I'm tired of being the problem child of this literary community. But I
Rats.
do think that in the Black community, we have had this culture of what happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors type mentality.
yeah,
So when people are free about their
Yeah.
bodily autonomy, their sexuality, the minute they are free about it, they are judged. They're judged from their family to their friends to people who don't even know them. And I feel like that, we have come so far, but we also are still backward into bullshit.
yeah,
Because we constantly see people
Yeah.
in poly relationships. We see people who do BDSM. Hell, Lord forbid a female be a dom. You know what I'm saying? It's just, we're stuck in those mentalities.
yeah. And it's
And
literally a whole world with all of that going on. So I don't
yeah.
know why people are
I think
so
they be
shocked
thinking
about
sex
that.
supposed to be one thing. Like,
And that's what it
you
is.
know what I'm saying?
Conformity be beating people behinds. Just thinking that
Yeah,
everybody is
I
supposed to be
agree.
like you, or else there's something wrong with them. You should demonize them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
baby,
I
that would be
agree.
so boring.
Yeah, and that's why I pushed the line in this book I just wrote, because I say, I don't really see people adding transgenders to books, and it's also a lot of females that are attracted to transgenders as well and have sexual relationships
Hmm.
with them.
Mhm.
That's
So
true.
I don't know. I think at first I was scared, but now I kind of like ruffling feathers and putting stuff in my books, especially the
You
ones
don't want
that
to be
are
one
erotica
dimensional.
based.
You don't want to make yourself one dimensional because other people don't like it or understand it. So, I mean, it just is what it is.
Do you think as authors that y'all are like pushing these envelopes and making people think outside of the box of what they're used to thinking out of? Because a lot of times you hear a lot of people, even I know it was like that thing on Book Talk with the white people talking about I don't want it to be political, but there was also black people saying, "Oh, let's keep it, we're just reading, type thing." But I can't see. I know a lot of y'all ain't been born in the hood, ain't been raised in the hood. I understand that. But a lot of stories resonate with a lot of readers.
Uh-uh.
Do you think that that y'all are being you will be stifled by society if you continue to write even darker? Because like Masterpiece, she wrote dark with Phil King, and I love that shit. But I can't read a white dark romance, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And E. Bowser, she went deep with that BDSM in her Product of the Street, and I loved it. But sometimes when I look at a white romance BDSM, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? So, do you, and same with Arya. She got 3 motherfucking niggas dicking this bitch down. I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. Or you got Cole, you got this toxic ass nigga giving her the good dick, and I'm like, oh damn, that's great. Or Blossom, you know what I'm saying? 2 twin brothers fucking it down. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
India,
crazy.
you know what,
That is
India, I
wild.
can't even. You just suck everything. It is literally
I don't know
um
what you're talking about.
you're just nasty. And T Lynn, when someone comes in your house accidentally, that is not the reason to fuck them. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying
That's
is,
a good reason. That's a good reason.
but what I'm saying is, you guys
Damn,
great
niggas can't have meat
experiences
no more.
that we all could relate to in some type of way. So, do you think that it's not society, it's our own culture that maybe is still stuck in the 1950s?
I think it's a combination of
Yeah.
things. I think
Yeah.
it's disdain for the arts just because black people feel like that's not a real viable job. I think it's purity culture. I think it's respectability politics. I think it's a lot of things. But at the same time, like you said, people is really living these lives. These aren't just something that we just completely made up. It had to come from somewhere. The basis is always almost in truth. And I just feel like as a culture, maybe we should all go sit on that lady couch, talk about some things, but I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. I don't think I would ever change anything. I still love my community. I love my culture. I still do everything I do for the sake of being black. However, I will acknowledge that there are some pitfalls waiting and hiding, with everything. Every project you release, somebody is not gonna like it. Somebody gonna have
Exactly.
something to say. So
Exactly.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah, I don't even know how people read no YT people stuff. Like, soon as I see pink anything, I'm closing the book.
Well, you know what?
So
I'm gonna say I actually fell in love, and this might sound crazy. I fell in love with dark romance from that side, and I got some top authors from that side that I could I could honestly say like they books was damn good and paranormal. But then when I found black, which is as far as dark romance, it's very rare that you will find the urban dark romance. Like when I realized E. Bowser and I read her freaking book, I fell in love with like just her craft and the way she writes the story, and she don't hold back. I was reading like, oh, she not holding back.
Not
She
a
going all the
one.
way.
Exactly.
So when you get into the urban side and like, oh shoot, this black author is writing dark romance, I'll be on the hunt. I'll be on the look for him. So uh, I'm the type of reader where it's like that C word don't really bother me. I can read over it if it's a good storyline. But
my brain autocorrects it. Do I like that? Am I gonna put it in my book? No, but I autocorrect it every time I see it. I be in little what's the name? I be like, "Dick."
yeah, I read it like that.
Glaze right over it.
I read it how I want to read it. I ain't reading it as C. I'm reading it as
I
D.
glaze right over it. I put my own character descriptions in and everything.
Yeah, because I
I'll
don't even
flick a chick in the
a
forehead
lot
if
of
she call
people.
my shit the C word.
A lot of people complain like, oh, it's a lot of grammar. If it's over grammar, okay, yeah, now you should have got an editor. But if it's stuff like little stuff, I just read it. I read it as is. That's just like when you read a text message and somebody spells something wrong. You know what they saying. You know what I'm saying? It's just a
You
lot of
know
people right
what?
now like to nitpick and just find anything.
I
Yeah,
always say this, but it's a lady that read every single one of my books. Like literally every single one of my books is on her Goodreads, and she give them all 2 stars, and she be like terrible editing.
So
And
why
it be
you
like
keep
over
reading?
misplaced
It's
commas.
always
I be
one
like, why
like
you
that
keep
though.
coming over here?
That's what I'm
Like
saying,
you
but it's
keep
like over
reading.
commas and stuff. I'm like, girl.
But why you keep coming over here?
She
yo,
need them 3 bisexual brothers to visit her.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
Like you just gonna keep reading, keep putting yourself in this predicament.
Like literally, and it be crazy because I'll release a book and then a week later her review. I'm like, girl, you didn't even wait to see if you was gonna hate this movie. You just got on it and was like immediately.
I'm trying to tell you, this the same person because I got one that do it with every single book,
Every single book.
and I'm like, why are you still reading?
That's what I'm saying. Like, why are you still here? What are you waiting on?
At this point, they do it just so they can get a rise out of y'all. They do it
Yeah.
so they
That's
can
what I be
aggravate
feeling
y'all.
like.
They looking for attention. They or hear me out. Maybe they need they pussy ate a little bit and a little much, or they may need some dick in their life. Just saying. I'm just
If
saying.
it's a female, I got her. Send her my number.
Oh my god, Cole,
I
please,
get it together.
please.
I'm
Please.
just saying.
It's really
So let me
hard to
ask
get a
y'all
rise
this.
out of me though. I feel like me personally, because I'm the queen of blocking. I'll break my thumb trying to block somebody. I mean, literally, like
What?
you gotta really try to get a reaction out of me. I mute stuff. I mute notifications. I block.
So let me ask y'all this: do black male characters get space to be vulnerable or soft in sex scenes, or are they always performing power?
I've read some black male authors that actually um you know what I always say his name wrong.
Cartier.
Cartier?
Cartier. He
Yeah.
can go soft and aggressive.
Mm.
He could go both. And I've read others that can do both. Now some male authors I see that they don't really like to go as far as into too much description with either or, meaning like they don't go into too much detail with the either the male, like if they're writing a woman POV, like I notice I don't see like, oh yeah, he looked good as hell, woo, 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 woo. And I think that's a complex for some of them. But the
Mm.
ones I've been reading, I don't see that much of a problem. I see the you said vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
I see it. I see it. But some, some men that write, some of them they don't. I've seen those, but I've seen some that can do both. Like, they can.
Let's hear from our resident YN. What the hell?
RYN.
Also, mine, I like because like I tell everybody, I ain't never did that making love stuff. I don't know nothing about that, so I can't even form my brain around some like soft, you know, eye to eye, all that. Because 9 times out of 10, my female characters is turned around facing another direction. So
Ah.
I ain't got the vulnerable people.
Oh Jesus!
They facing the mattress or is against the wall or something. So I don't know.
Oh my
Not with
God!
me.
Oh Lord.
I swear to Lord.
Like,
I feel like for me, my characters are so like a lot of my characters are so assertive in their real everyday lives. Like they're very powerful men, and they're always and that part of them is always on. So when they're home with the woman that they actually care about and shit like that, that's their time to be soft and just unwind and stuff like that. So a lot of my scenes they're descriptive or whatever, and they might be like a little nasty, but he's still like really soft with her. And I guess that's not really
I
my
agree to
characters
that.
are like that.
I agree with that. And then that's another thing. Like, I have written softer male characters. It's not for everybody. I have had people say, I don't like when men cry. And, I get it. But at the same time, like, that's reality for some men. So I think that when you see men that are really in love, you can understand how that is a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 'cause that's just kind of all I know. All the men in my life have always loved me. So they've always been soft and vulnerable with me.
And I
Um,
think that people have that expectation of a man to like, and I know it's just like the times we've always lived in, people don't expect men to be soft like that or whatever. But I mean, I don't know. I can't
I
imagine
mean,
like being in
I
love with
mean,
somebody.
Cole be sitting here acting like he hard, but he's soft. He a marshmallow. You know he is. Yeah, he
and
is.
ain't
Yeah,
nobody tripping off a
you
code.
couldn't be friends with all these females if you wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Cause
My
I
nigga.
like females. I like
Oh my
females.
God.
I'm not
Okay.
going to sit there and talk about like, some, I don't know, like,
He can't even come up with a good lie. Look at him. He's
what
struggling
we
to
gonna
find the
talk
lie.
about? Like, I like
Yo,
females, so like, you know, we talking
whatever.
about vulnerability, like,
But
That
that
is
doesn't
like,
take
I don't,
vulnerable.
away. It
That
doesn't
is
take
I
away
want
from
vulnerable.
like
my tears is
masculinity.
on my face. You know what I'm saying? They don't come
I'm not
down.
talking about your thuggish ruggish bone shit.
I'm
I'm
saying,
saying, I'm
But see, right? Because I feel like that is unrealistic. Like I don't know. I've never, like I just said, I've never read into like a man that was hard all the time.
All the
Because
time?
like you gonna be
Like, nigga, you
soft.
just a brick all the time? Just a
Like
hard ass
I
Yeah,
boy?
can't do the
like
thing. Like naturally, a woman. What woman would want to be with a man that is always hard? Like, damn, we can't ever like lay up on some soft shit.
Yeah,
Cause
like
It's
yeah,
midnight. I want to light
like
72
candles.
hours, y'all. 72 hours. Golly.
No, it's
nigga.
It's not
listen.
be
It's
happening.
hard all the
midnight. I
time.
want to
That's
light
too much.
candles, break out the body oils, and listen to.
That's
I
that
want to listen
light
to
skin.
Anita
72
Baker
hours
and
is
R&B.
crazy.
That is that light skin nigga shit. I swear to
72
God.
hours is crazy.
This,
Listen, I'm saying
okay.
for me,
I wanna.
I did juvie to penitentiary till 2022. I don't have that. I don't have that.
but
You
you
know?
see
Yes, you
now,
do.
you
Oh, you
ain't.
need to
Because
get a
because
garden or
you
You
something.
don't
because
have that,
you
or
have
did you
so
not
many
find the right
female
one
friends.
yet though?
Hmm.
Because
I'm
if
not
you get the
looking
right
for the
one,
Facts.
you're
right
gonna be
one.
vulnerable.
I
Yeah.
want the wrong
Facts.
one. I want the
Facts.
wrong ones. I don't want the right one.
I am
You
Give
know
me
done.
the
what?
wrongs.
Toxic ass Negro.
You know
I
what
want the
though? That's
wrong
how
one.
my daddy was. He
But
liked the wrong
wait,
women, and that's why that man is single father to this day.
wait.
Hmm.
I want to
Yes.
ask. I want to ask our resident nasty,
Oh
and
Lord.
I'm talking about Evalza in India.
Hmm.
So, with you guys, when you write your books, because the vulnerability and masculinity is all throughout your books, but at the same time, they dicks is toxic, but they love their women. So, how do you make sure that their masculinity and their vulnerability is showcased in the characters that you write?
Um,
Oh my god.
Don't lie and say you don't write them nasty, because I'm.
I no, I wasn't gonna lie. This time. Um, I mean, I think it's important, so I put it. I try to put it like throughout the books when the moment calls for it. You know, when the moment calls for the vulnerability. But I do think that it's important to add it, to the book to make sure that's showcased. I think you know what I'm saying. Like everybody was saying, like it's like who wants somebody that's hard all the time? You know what I'm saying. You need that balance, and I feel like now I do feel like it's moments where maybe he purposely not try to show it depending on the situation. Like if he's pissed or something's going on or whatever. But I feel like it's one woman that can like break you down, and I like to show that like throughout a book, especially for somebody that don't want to be broken down. A guy or it could be a female that don't want to be broken down because she used to something just being hard all the time or trying to protect herself that she don't want to let that vulnerability in.
Okay. Now, E. Now, let's be real, because behind the curtain, that was some nasty ass shit.
Who me?
Spider web. I'm talking about E. E had a scene in her book called Behind the Curtain. If you have not read Product of the Street, you're bad. I'm just saying. Because you are missing out on behind the curtain. You're missing out on the spider web.
I'm
You're missing
excited
out
now.
on the AOK. So, E, with Oz being a dog and Dr. McNasty, as I call him, I know they
Not
call him
Dr.
Platinum,
McNasty.
but I know they call him Platinum, but I'm calling him Dr. McNasty and the Black Wolf and Stacks old double personality ass. Um, how do you maintain their vulnerability and their sexuality at the same time where they're masculine but also vulnerable?
Um, Probably because I wrote them as like they're evolved in their
Mhm.
mindset. Like they're grown men. So if they find the one to be vulnerable with, they're going to be able to showcase that because they've done the work themselves already.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't want to have to, if they were younger, let's just say somebody like Karma,
Mm-hmm.
you would see like some of the growing in that aspect because he don't have all that life experience.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as when Product of the Street started, for them, they've had this life experience.
Mm-hmm.
They know when to be vulnerable and when not to be vulnerable with, like, when their masculinity needs to take a back seat
Mm-hmm.
for with the person that they're with. Like if you're an evolved man, you don't have no problem with being vulnerable
Hey,
Mhm.
hey,
because
hey.
you're secure. Like you're secure in yourself, and all of them were secure in themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They sure was, and they big dicks. Yeah. Okay,
Okay,
next question.
we back on track.
So, why do you think traditionally publishing asks Black authors to tone down sexual exploration, while white counterparts write books filled with BDSM, group sex, or taboo play without consequence?
Because they're
I
lame.
think it's because they don't feel that we will pull in the numbers
Yeah, they don't think it's
because
gonna sell.
I don't think they think it's going to sell, which maybe not, because as we can see as indie authors, the fight that we have to go through when we're releasing books of this nature with just, the people that know us or the readers that know us. And it's like, they're not going to place that bet on you. So they want to recoup their money. So
Yeah.
if they don't think Black readers are going to buy these books, they want you to tone that down. Like,
Mm,
no, give us a little fluffy something. We can do a little street, but pull back a little bit because we still need to sell this because nobody's going to buy it.
right.
Yeah, it's
So
just
it's like, it's, it's messed up, honestly.
yeah, they definitely work on, a calculated risk, and it's just like, okay, we've seen this done 1,000 times before, the candy, the cotton candy, sugar pink, happy ending, everybody's happy, but, for them to risk it on something where it's wild and messy and unknown, it's not something that they're willing to do. Like E said, it's just, they don't want to make that risk and possibly lose their money.
Yeah, they don't.
And for white people, I hate to say it, but they have the money behind it. They have the readership, even if they do the low end of sales on their books. Usually, 9 times out of 10, they're still gonna make that money back because they just have the readers behind them. People aren't gonna read their book and be like, "I couldn't envision myself as a black lady named Shaquisha," and that's not even saying that that's what the lady name gonna be in the book, but that's the kind of comments they leave
Yeah.
and reviews they
Mm,
leave on our stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's it's more than them not. It's more than them wanting to recoup their money. It is blatant racisms in every part of our
racism.
society,
Mhm.
and I think that the other side has never had to look at a book, look at a movie, look at a doll, look at anything, and have to see themselves in it. So when they
mm,
read our stories, they cannot see that we have always had to look at things and try to take what ourselves out of that. We've always had to look at a doll and be like, and try to envision yourself in their image. They've never had to do that. And so when they get our books on those desks, they cannot envision themselves in our stories. And it's because they never had to, because our society is literally set up for them.
But you know
mm,
Woo,
what?
preach,
They're
preach.
curious. They're very curious. And
Absolutely.
this is a little bit off topic, but what I've noticed why they're curious is because there was a statement made a while back in front of the Urban Fiction, a Facebook group. And it was asked like, do it was regarding like, hey, white people, do you read the N word in a book or do you skip over it? And I didn't even know it was that many in that group,
Mm-hmm.
and they were in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of them was like, "Oh, we just skip over we this we that," and some of them wasn't just like the typical type of. I was going to their profiles,
Mm-hmm.
seeing the groups that they were in, and I went to the groups that they were in. You know, so they are very curious, or even on TikTok. It's a lot of them that read our books, but they won't give our book a review. It's almost as if like I'm
Mm-hmm.
ashamed to say,
Yeah, we're dirty
oh, this is
secrets.
this urban cover, you know, and I read this black author's book. Whereas they're reviewing and getting 50,000 likes off of their books,
Yeah.
but they won't say, I've had a lot happen in my inbox. No
I get a
shade.
lot of
Mm-hmm.
inboxes
Like,
too.
oh, I loved your book, woo, woo, woo. And I go click on their page and they're reviewing the dragon and this and that and this. And I'm like, damn, why you can't give Filth Kings a video review? I'm not gonna ask because masterpiece don't beg. But I
Mm-hmm.
see what it is, and I see, okay, you like this because it's piquing your interest, and you probably even like the way it's written, and it got drama, and it's seasoned, but you don't want to show your friends and your other book friends that this is what you're reading. Whereas
Mm.
I just told
Yeah,
y'all,
that's
I
what it
just said
comes
it
down to.
loud and clear. Hey, my first dark romances was by white authors. I ain't got no shame,
Mm-hmm.
but
That's
it's
because
shame
we
in
have
that for me.
always had to see ourselves in their stories, and they have not had to see themselves in ours. And it's like a
Exactly.
shame. It's a shame thing that's on it to
But
like
that's
watch
all
this and
media.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's all media, and I think you touched on that, Blossom, about how they haven't had to envision themselves in dolls and movies and all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. And it's crazy because I'm not trying to get into like the idea of race and all of that, but they are actually the group with the lowest rated empathy. They have virtually no empathy for other human beings.
Mhm.
And that's why they're not able to sit there and envision themselves in somebody else's shoes. You can live the same life, you can do the exact same things, eat the exact same foods, have the same interests, and they still will look at you as something other than.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So, as someone who's been
Ooh,
in
I
the
felt
system,
that.
who's been in a system where it's been black versus everybody else, when you write your books, how do you feel about certain topics like this?
Say that last part one more time.
Yeah.
I said, how do you feel about certain topics like this when you're discussing the vulnerability of a black man in a story? I know you don't write vulnerability of a black man in a story, but
Who, me?
no,
Cold.
cold,
Cold.
cold.
I think it needs to be.
But be in the system and understanding that the system is rigged to set us back, not forward. How do you maintain your male characters so that they are not the stereotype?
Well, I want to say
I
real quick,
mean,
I feel like it's okay for your black male character to cry or to express his feelings
Mhm.
I
or to
find that.
do the opposite of what a lot of black male characters don't do in books.
Mhm.
I've had the hardest male character muster, actually like cry, and I kind of cry because I'm like, damn, I came a long way with him because he's not the type that'll cry. You know, he do what he do, and that's that. But I feel like certain things. I try to send message through books like it's okay for a woman to console and be there when that man is vulnerable and he's having that moment, because a lot of men feel like if I cry in front of her, she gonna think I'm this or she gonna think I'm that. I can't express myself. A lot of black men don't express themselves. They don't say what's their deep rooted issues
Mhm.
or what worries them or what scares them, because they feel like they are always supposed. They're a man. They got to be strong. They got
To
to
come
carry. They
for a
got to
black
protect
male.
and
And
make a
that's
woman feel secure. You know what I'm saying? So I try to make that. I don't care how hard my male character is. He gonna have a moment.
Mhm.
Okay, well, Cole, you heard what they said. I want to hear what you. I'm
moments
scared.
make you human.
I'm scared. I'm
well,
scared. But I want to hear what you have to say.
look, all I could speak to is so like I said, I was raised in the system. Like I said, I went in the system when I was 8. You know what I'm saying? So like it was already a learned behavior that you can't be vulnerable in them situations because people try to play on your weakness. So that
Mm.
don't make me no less of a man or nothing like that. I'm just not going. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So like like I said, I never had nobody, I never got to experience like falling in love and all that extra, you know what I'm saying, butterflies and whatever stuff. I didn't learn that stuff. So I write my characters knowing the people I was around, cause I was a street nigga. So I could talk to that aspect of that side, and at the end of the day, like the females that came around, I know my interactions with them. You know what I'm saying? They know I'm a munch, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna eat that coochie, that booty, and do all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm with all that. But when it come, but
Is
when it
this an
comes to like,
advertisement?
I
no,
sure
You
like
taking
that.
clientele in the comments?
No.
yeah, I take them too. But when it comes to, trying to like, do relationships and all that, I'm not the one for that. I'm not, because I don't know how to do that emotional whatever. So that's why I say
Most people
72
get that
hours,
with
because you ain't
experience.
got that time to get that attachment to me, so that I don't break your heart.
You know what? We clowning on Cole, but let me just say this. When I was younger, before I got with my husband, I had the life goal of moving to New York, becoming a neurosurgeon, and owning cats. I never wanted to be in a relationship. Up until that point, I was using niggas like dildos. Literally, we do it once. I give you one time, and then we would never speak again. I didn't care if it was your first time. I didn't care how you felt after. Like that's what kind of woman I was up until that point. However, I do think that allowing yourself to be soft and vulnerable, especially when you get to a place where you know you're safe and you don't have to depend on people for, just basic necessities, that is okay. So I'm not clowning on Cole because, again, I understand and I get it because I had a hard life. I didn't have soft places to land. But when you get older, it's okay to explore that side of you. And I feel like that's one thing that I really try to write about in Black men, because a lot of them don't get to experience that. And they start young, even with their parents telling them boys don't cry or something like that. So that's a reality for a lot of
Yeah.
them. And it's not their fault. It's just the way that things are set up.
Yeah.
And I get that. And me as I'm a female dom, so I am married in a relationship that has nothing to do with BDSM, but I do understand the dynamic of who I am. So I am soft because he gives me a place where I can be safe. To be soft. Not that I'm worried about a motherfucker whooping my ass. Good luck with that. But but he just give me a safe space to be vulnerable. So my reward to him is being soft. You know what I'm saying? And it still falls in line with my Don mentality, just not on the lines that most people would think. So I do feel like that the vulnerability of a Black man depends on if he has a safe space. If he is in a safe space to be vulnerable. Because I ain't gonna lie, some of you bitches
Not a safe space.
are
Not a
not a
safe space
safe
at
space.
all.
Not a
Y'all
safe
are more
space.
toxic than the toxic dick that we be yearning for.
I think
I'm
that's
just
true
not.
though. It's a lot of toxic women out here.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
it is a lot of toxic women out here.
And
People
I
in
say
my
that from the queer aspect to the straight aspect. Some of y'all are toxic as fuck.
yeah.
And that's why I said it's only because Cole haven't met that one where he can be vulnerable with.
I
Like
Mhm.
whenever
agree.
he meets that person, he'll know. He'll be straight. But right
People don't
now,
even know my husband talk. They be like, yo, they be like, I've never seen that man talk. Does he even smile? I'd be like, yeah. To
I'm gonna
me?
tell you about her husband. We was at Tulsa, right?
Oh
And
Lord.
Miss Ma'am had on this dress. Now she got tickle bitties. I couldn't focus on what the fuck she was saying because I kept looking down. And her husband was just sitting back there like, yeah, you know. And I was in here like, I'm trying to pay attention, but wow.
You know what? It's so funny because I had on a dress similar to that the other day and we went on a date. And this man was staring at me the same way. And I said, I don't want to say nothing or nothing. He said, oh no, you don't gotta do nothing. He get up and say something to you. It's gonna be taken care of. But that's because he one of them.
So let
You
me
know
ask
what?
y'all
It's
this.
a book. I know this is random again.
What's
But
We
up?
all
since
off
we
topic.
talking about this, because I'm rereading through the whole Porters. Nina, the book should be a freaking movie, but Nina really writes these male characters that have gone through so much,
Mm-hmm.
and they're aggressive. They have mental issues. They have, like Lake, for instance,
Lake
he
is
was
that
forced
nigga. I
to be
love him.
hard. He was
Yes.
forced to be hardcore and not feel, and he was convinced that he couldn't be loved.
Yeah.
You know, and his brothers told him that. He raised his brothers. And then it was that one woman. And I'm saying this because it's kind of like reminding me of Kold just a little bit with how he said, like, I've been in the system. You know, so when you're in a system, especially if it's the jail system that he's talking about, you can't be soft. You can't show this and that because you either gonna get took or you gonna be, you know, something else. So I get it, but that's why I'm reverting back to Nina Book, because I'm almost done and sitting on my desk. You know, little promo. But I've come to points where I literally shed tears because I read Hassan first, and then I'm on Front Street Porter, and I'm gonna go back again and read the On Us. But she really writes she writes it well what we're talking about and our Black men on the different circumstances of why they have to be how they are. And with most women, they all they gonna do is turn you around, wham bam, thank you, ma'am, on to the next, because they don't feel that connection, they don't feel nothing. But you will, and I believe, Kold, that one day you will find out one woman that stumble you up, and next thing you know, you're crying in front of her.
Look at Kold.
You never know.
Kold don't believe it, but one day he's gonna be at somebody's Saturday morning farmers market. It's gonna be 7 a.m. He's gonna be picking out radishes and shit.
Let's go to farmers market. I don't go to no farmers market.
You don't go to farmers markets yet.
Okay.
Yes.
I still think, like,
I got another question for you guys. I got another question.
Oh, go ahead.
Is there something uniquely Black about how we write and experience eroticism in fiction?
Repeat that.
The last part went out.
Is there something uniquely Black about how we write and experience eroticism in fiction?
I think so.
C word.
Oh, first off,
I think so with the storyline. You know, the storyline, the characters, that their characteristics.
how they eat.
Yeah, and then but see, to me, like, sex is sex, depending on how filthy it is, depending on, you know, the different stipulations that's added to it, or if it's, you know, a lifestyle, because sex for some people is a lifestyle. So for some, you know, that's just, you know, they do the regular marriage type of intimacy once or twice out the week, whereas some, they gotta have it twice a day. You know, everybody is different, but I do feel like it don't matter what race it is, because I could go search it right now and I'm gonna see all the races around the world doing the same shit or different type of, you know, positions. But I think how it's written is our signature. Like, okay, yeah, this is by a Black person, you know what I'm saying? It's our signature. But some black authors can write it just how they write it.
That's true. Yeah, I do want to say though, I think that our descriptions are different, and not just because of the C word, but like I feel like, you know, our counterparts use pounding and thrusting and all of that a lot more. We don't really do all that stroking, you know, hunching. That's kind of what we lean towards. I'm not gonna sit there and say they were banging one out on the counter. It's just not me. You know, I'm gonna say, oh, he was stroking her down and keeping tight. You know, but you know, it's that's the difference in it. That is just our description. Yeah, like our descriptions are very, you know, nuanced to us. I also feel like things leading up to it. I think Blossom was talking about that, like, you know, music playing, where they meet. What does he smell like? Because, you know, Black men be walking around here smelling like cocoa butter. And I know that everybody love Creed. I'm so sick of smelling Creed. But you know what I'm saying? Like, just things like that.
Yeah,
I definitely put it down.
I definitely agree. Because when I read like erotica from the other side, like, it's a difference. Like, I can tell when I go, like, if I'm reading that and then I go over there and read Masterpiece, you know, like, it's a difference. It's just that uniquely, you know, that, you know, our culture has that.
Right.
Our tone different.
The tone.
Yeah. Our culture leaks into the writing. So it definitely gives off a different energy from the other side when they're writing about it.
Put you on the counter by the better road.
Uh, do you guys feel we're reclaiming something ancestral, spiritual, or political when we write sex so freely?
I
I
got
feel
a
like
dirty mind, so I don't think like
I
I'm
don't
gonna
feel
say
like
this
we're
just
reclaiming anything ancestral. I do feel like it's making us more human because, like I said, I think people think that we're supposed to be these perfect little dolls that never have dirty thoughts, and we just
Exactly.
get married in the church and swing hands by the daffodils and only have sex to procreate. But that's not a lot of people's realities, and I just think that it makes us more human to write about the messy parts. One night stands and fucking on your boyfriend's twin brother. Like it, it's just things like
Those
that.
one night stands be, you know.
and they happen.
They
it's
They
the
They
happen.
best
happen.
happen.
invention,
Yeah.
I've,
a
I've
great
had
invention.
I've had a reader be like, "That's unrealistic." That she met this
For
guy and didn't know
you.
his name, and I'm like, "Well, shit,
Shit.
I just met a few people that know."
Yeah, it's like you
They
don't
ain't
be
got
wanting to tell
Tinder.
on
You know,
yourself
those
because
people
some people be like
right.
it's unrealistic, and in my mind, I'm like, I
I'm
done.
like, "Man, this is
Y'all know how many people ask me about the glory hole, and I just have to sit there with that information. I'll be like, I
Yo,
can never be
Aria,
honest.
Aria, when you said the glory hole, all I could think about in Chicago, we have a place called Boys Town. And all I could think about was like, damn, she hit the nail on the with that shit. Cause
I
it,
visited Boys Town.
cause glory hole is a real thing. It's a real thing.
it is."
It's a real thing. So let me ask y'all, what's the industry really saying when they celebrate sexually liberated white women in fiction, but call black sexual stories too raw, too urban, or too aggressive?
The same thing they've been saying for.
I feel like they already hypersexualize us, so I never pay attention to what they got
Yeah.
to say. They
Mm.
think all black men is supposed to have a mandingo and he supposed to just beat it up like there's no tomorrow.
Then
Niggas
we
got bad
learned
knees out
otherwise
here.
because of P Diddy and his sissy roll.
Oh my, ugh.
Mm.
That
I'm
description I could have lived without forever. I could have
woo.
died happy and been resurrected and been happy, died again happy, never knowing it.
Please.
Mm. Mm-mm.
So I'm okay. I'm gonna switch it up. Is there a deeper narrative thread in the way a character your character moves sexually? Like, is there a way that is your signature move, the takedown move? I'm talking about to have him or her ready to tap out. Don't get quiet now,
I'm
nigga.
like, wait, what is the
Blossom, I feel like you got a good one.
What is the takedown
Yeah.
move? What is the WWE Mortal Kombat finish
You
him
know what, Storm?
move?
You something else.
If y'all read Leak It, if y'all read both Leak It's, and then y'all read, what was the one, Sex and Rescue, I feel like you will know what Blossoms is.
what really? I don't know.
What so don't get
Yeah,
quiet.
I'm over here trying to run the
What is
sleeves
the
in my
takedown
head.
move? What is the takedown move? What is the one?
What
What
is
is the one?
the
I
That
feel like
one
she be
takedown move that you have in every book. That you don't even that you haven't even realized, damn, I use that motherfucking move every time when it's about
Putting her
to
on the stomach, putting her ass on the stomach.
You know what, Cole?
putting what on where?
Putting her on the stomach.
what my characters be
So
doing?
all my characters do that.
I like that
I
double
don't.
penetration, but I don't know if I use that multiple times.
that
I
what?
have no idea.
Double
She
I
said the
penetration.
don't.
DP.
Okay.
I do
I'm
like
gonna
D.
go ahead. I'm gonna go down the list.
Oh
Okay.
Lord, you got a
Look,
list?
You got a list?
Cole is the finisher on the stomach type touchdown. With fucking Blossom, it can either be double penetration or it could be just that backstroke that goes crazy.
I think
With
it's the backstroke.
me, it could be either the much, or it could be the backstroke. With India,
It's
you
definitely
never
that.
fucking know because everybody's squirting at this point. With Masterpiece, it is usually sometimes it could be the hit game or it could be the deep throat because they'll start from the back and flip you over to the front and then give you the deep, and then with E Bowser, I don't even fucking know.
I don't know where to begin.
Fucking everybody is fucking in the book. I don't know who is doing what. I don't know. And with Aria, you can guarantee there is 3 dicks in a biscuit. Okay? There's
A
somebody
biscuit.
getting butt sucked and fucked every time.
You know what? I'm judging Storm because how you know this to a T? You should have been down a whole list.
Yo,
He was
I
studying.
really read y'all books. I really read y'all books.
We need to put her ass in a hot seat.
Okay.
I really read y'all shit. So.
We need to interview you.
No, you don't.
So
We
Storm,
need a
how does that make you feel?
full panel.
Okay.
Ask my husband how I make him feel. Is there do you prefer dominance or submissive? Which or play? Do you prefer dominance, submission, or play? Which one is the one that really takes your sexual scenes over?
I don't care what it is. As long as it start with head.
I think it depends on the point of view that I'm in. I don't think that I'm gonna ever have like I've never written like a really dominant woman in a book. So that and I think it like that's just me though. Cause like for me, I don't think I would ever be a dominant woman. Either. I'm not a dominant woman at all, so I don't think that ever come through in my character.
I think they work in tandem for me. Like they start off dominant and then everything kind of fades to submission. Because if you think about it, like release is an act of submission.
Yes.
You're literally giving up the safety and security of your body and your mind to this person. So it go hand in hand for me.
I agree. I can't agree with that.
Yeah. I guess it
I'm
depends on the
submitting
character.
last.
I like the dominate. I like dominate. I'm actually finna take my character Riley Rose and put her in that forbidden fruit and have her as a dom because I really wanted to go all the way with her because it was fun having a woman like just aggressive and turning him out. Just turning him out, turning him every way but loose.
Did you name her Storm?
No, well, see, in the Forbidden Fruit series, it continues with Octavio and Riley. It's new characters. You know what? But you know what? Let me write that down because it's new characters it's new main male and main female characters that will be introduced.
Because I'm aggressive than a motherfucker. So
I'm writing about a dom right now.
Don't do me like Latoya. That's all I ask. Don't have me addicted to fairy dust. Dom.
Fairy dust is crazy. I done heard a lot of things. The fairy dust
What's
is
your
crazy.
favorite fruit, Storm?
Huh?
You know what? I'm gonna send you 4 options of what's your favorite fruit, and that will be the book you because it's 4 erotica.
It's gonna be mango.
Oh my god!
It's gonna
I've
be.
been waiting on this series just because of the covers.
It's gonna be mango.
The covers are so nice.
I would never, ever not look at a mango any other way after reading E. Bowser's book and the mango scene.
Right.
Mangoes. Mangoes will always be my fruit.
You know what? Well, I don't got no mango on them covers. I got berries. I got peach, strawberry.
We gonna go with peach because it's close enough to mango.
Okay.
Because
The way that
these trouble is already
You know what,
the
y'all?
link was
This
licking those
the
mangoes.
peach one looks very sexual. I just want to say.
The
now,
strawberry one does too.
That peach, that
this is very off topic, but it may help my fellow authors. There is a national or a annual competition in Jamaica where them men be eating papayas with their hands tied behind their back. Now,
what?
I'm not yes. Now I'm not saying.
I'm not saying.
Wait, what is this? Because I'm going to Jamaica in June.
Listen, I think it's in June actually, but it is an annual competition. They sit there and they eat them papayas with their hands tied behind their back. I'm not saying that it's giving anything other than eating papayas. However, what I am saying is if you need some inspiration for the way them tongues be flicking, there you go.
Let me find my
I'm
note.
gonna be in Jamaica from June 14th to the 24th.
I got
Thank
them
you for that fun fact.
Wow. Wow.
Cold is
What if they got that on
irritating right
TikTok?
Okay.
They do, and it's on YouTube.
I'm gonna look at it.
Here's another question. All right. What is the one thing in a sex scene that you are tired of seeing? Is it the same go-to back shots, the tongue and finger combo, or an over reliance on hyper masculinity sex?
You know what I'm tired of seeing? Ladies nutting with no clit stimulation at all. He not flicking it, licking it, sticking it, doing nothing. It's just there in the air, waving like it
Who's
don't care.
writing that?
You know what, Aria, you right, because you gotta give it not necessarily like the whole time. You don't gotta give it stimulation, but you do gotta get that thing aroused. You gotta
That's what I'm
get
saying.
Something.
Like
Because
you're
I'm
not
like,
rubbing it
who
a
is
little
writing
bit.
that? That's crazy work.
You would be surprised. I have read some things, and that's why, like, I be telling people, please don't look at my Goodreads because it's an 80% chance that book did not get finished.
Don't look at my good.
That's insane.
What about the rest of y'all? What position has this overplayed itself? What dynamic in sex scenes that is just so played out? You wish people stop writing that
I
shit.
don't think.
It's definitely gonna be back shots for me. I love a good back shot.
Yeah, India, we love a good back shot.
The only thing I hate is when they don't be long. Like I'll be like, why you like this one paragraph sex scene?
Yeah,
Like, what is this?
right. Exactly.
What is this? I done read
Should be short.
this whole book and you gave us a paragraph.
Or when you
Or
finally
one sex scene. I need more.
One
than
sex scene is crazy.
I need more than one. Me personally, I like to read, more than one. Give me at least 3, and I'll be happy.
Or you know what? What I don't like is like when the characters have had this sexual chemistry throughout the book, and when it finally time, like, oh, I can't wait to see what he's working with, and you get to it, and it's like not even like
You
Blossom
be
said.
mad as hell.
Man, I'll be like,
Or it'd be like the next day, I woke up stretching. Oh, my legs were sore. Why is your leg sore? I wanted to know why. I wanted to see detail for detail.
Oh, the face.
I will put a book down if it be Fade to Black. I can't. I cannot do Fade to Black.
That's like Christian romance where they kissing and Jesus be in the room. I'll be like, oh, it's gotta go.
You know what book had my nerves so bad, and I caught her because the book is good. It's by Echelon. It's with knowledge. I was reading it and I caught her. I said, when is they about to fuck? And she fell out laughing like, why you ain't got no patience? I'm like, I love a good storyline, but I'm ready for them to get to it because he the man. Like, let me get to it. And somebody had wrote a review on my Filkin saying, oh, the sex scenes were too long. Oh, well, you don't need to read my book because if I want to make it 2 chapters of them just doing what they doing, it's going to be
well, they don't need to be over there because let me tell you something, Leslie. Do not shorten your Absolutely not.
Man, that's an all the time thing though. They be saying, "Oh, it's too much sex." I'm like, "But you reading erotica."
Why are you here?
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
Why are you here?
Like,
Somebody said that they be like, this book too freaked out. Why are you over here?
Like it's literally
Man,
listed
some
as an
scenes be
erotica.
so hot, y'all. I have to get up. I have to push back from this desk get up and walk, do a lap around my house, get some ice cold juice or some water. I sit back down, do my little this, and get right back to it. Like,
Literally me, child. I was like that writing leaking because I was like, ooh.
I'll shoot hubby a text from his game room like, meet me in the bedroom now.
I was
He
like,
you ain't finna be using me like this.
I be trying to, so when I'm trying to figure out the positions and stuff, I be like, all right, I need you to bend me like this. Hold it.
I can't even be playing other games like that because I ain't trying to have no more kids.
Listen.
Wait, I got a question for y'all real quick. I'm sorry, sir. I gotta ask a question.
Sorry, we so off topic.
So when y'all write y'all scenes, and okay, let's say, okay, you take intermission and do the do with your mate. Like, do you ever catch yourself in the middle of a session like, ooh, how is this making me feel? I can write, how can I try
Yes!
this?
Yes.
I'm glad it's not just me. Cause I sure be thinking about that. I be like, and then like when something happens, I be need to be like, oh, he caressed such and such.
I would say so. I be like, if you I think when he read leaking, I was like, did you hear yourself in it?
You gotta stop and think, like, yeah, it feels good, but okay, how can I translate this? Because sometimes I get stuck. So I do have books, like I have, the different books to help you like express different words. Because sometimes I do get stuck, but when I'm in the middle of it in action, in my mind, I'm like, then I have to snap back, like, okay, let's focus on the moment because I'm finna get mine. But I gotta like,
it's like you baking the knowledge for later, or high key. Exactly. Like literally, it's like you making a little mental note, like, oh, because I did that the other day. I was getting some head, and I was like, damn, wait, okay, let me write this down right now.
You can't even take a break. Now you want to go to sleep, and it's like, I'm like, nah, I gotta go to the computer right now. Let me roll up and get my laptop and write this down.
That's why I'll be having my phone ready with the app on it.
I just want y'all to know.
I hope you don't feel no type of way when I'm just picking my phone up.
I just want y'all to know, y'all favorite authors are freaks. I just want y'all to know this. They nasty as fuck.
I think they've been suspected India, first off.
They nasty as hell. So let me ask y'all a question. Let's talk about oral. Let's talk about making pussy eating an experience. So what makes pussy eating scenes truly sensual, powerful, or nasty on the pages? What details do you focus on to move it beyond cliche and make it memorable?
Yeah, it gotta be right. They gotta be doing it right. Not that I flick my tongue here and then moving on. No, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, break it down all the way. But don't just talk about the coochie, you know what I'm saying? Go and explore, you know what I'm saying, throwing that tongue down south. You feel me? That's why I like to see,
You
you know what I'm
gotta be
saying? Don't talk about just
shameless.
licking it. Talk about sticking that mug in there, you feel me? Letting it curl around, you feel me? Yeah. We
I
gotta
like
get the
talking about
details
like
out.
other parts of the body
Ain't
too,
no
like the
limits.
thighs, holding them, holding the thighs, putting your thumbs in the right places,
Yeah, facts.
kisses, all of that, the quivering, all of that.
I even had a main male character get pubic hair stuck in the back of his throat.
Yo, I did
And the
that in Burger
69.
That shit, and he flossed her coochie hair out with her thong. Like he flossed the coochie hair out his teeth with her thong.
Ain't nothing wrong with, how when you drowning in water and you get that little headache. Ain't nothing wrong with putting your whole face from your forehead to the tip of your chin so you can
You
condition
gotta
that
suffocate.
beard.
Yes.
That's
Gotta
right.
I heard
suffocate,
that
man.
helps the beard. That helps the beard.
Or if she's like sitting on his face, she got to be like grabbing some chest or some arms or something to brace herself because
You
if she
see it
not
ain't no
rocking,
patches.
yeah,
You can't
Got
be
no
timid with it. It's you can't be timid.
I
no,
think
you
it's in the
can't.
detail. I think it's, you definitely can't, like Cole said, you can't just, give a quick description everything you be done. Because I'm ready for the two chapters. Like if Masterpiece write the two chapters, I'm ready to read it.
Okay.
I'm gonna read
Talk
every
about how that
line.
mug.
Yeah.
You gotta talk about how it cream and then like it's that smack
Not the
on the
cream.
lips
He
from the
right though.
cream.
He right. You know. You
Right.
absolutely right.
Not the little tang.
That's right.
What?
That's right. And if that mug squirt, how you gotta hurry up and drink it down, you feel me, so it could get back to what you was doing.
Oh my
Dead
god.
serious.
But
Y'all know it.
we
Y'all
can't
know it.
just we can't talk about pussy eating without talking about head.
Hmm.
What does it look like?
It's a
You
must.
know what I'm saying? When you really lean into messiness, surrender or worship in like giving head, especially from a masculine point of view. Like, how do you write a sloppy, unapologetic oral from a main character?
I
Ooh.
feel like she can't be demure about it.
No.
Yeah.
You got to get down to business. You got to
Facts.
do the purposely gag to produce more spit. You got to do it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, she got to be sucking that mug off the gristle type shit. Like,
Yeah.
God damn. They talking about sucking the soul out of a nigga.
Yes.
Even when it go limp. Because I like to see a motherfucker squirm. Like, oh, that's
Yeah.
and then that's another thing. Like, it depends on what kind of is she like a swallower or is she spit it out and like jacking it some more and like it really them is the
Depends on the
details you got to think
character.
about.
And then like my male characters, like each one of them have a different way they like to get their hair. So like it just depends. I just go.
She's swallowing it every time. It's boring spitting it out. Come on now.
Exactly. Every time.
face shots, chest shots,
All
swallow
the
all
time.
it.
I don't know because I
Paint
saw
the
somebody who like
face.
get
Paint
shot in
the
the
face,
face.
god dang.
Yeah,
No,
like she was
different.
like
Like
shake
now,
that
if
shit
you're
up like
doing
a
face
sprite.
paint, that's different. But like if it's in your mouth, swallow it.
Not that
Oh,
get
that's
up
in the
and run to the
middle.
bathroom and spit it out.
Swallowing
Running to the
children
bathroom
left
is
to right
crazy.
in your book. They were swallowing kids like hid in the words of T.N. Jones, them legless, headless motherfuckers was getting swallowed. So what's your thoughts on this?
Let me tell you, a review I got on Leak It was like it was too many fluids.
It was 3 people.
There
Why
was
are
so
you
many
there?
fluids. They said they just could not handle all the fluids. I was like, baby.
And you know what? I don't like that pretty stuff because it's like, let's be realistic. If you're doing a good job, it's gonna be spit all down the middle of your breast. It's gonna be all down your chin. You know,
It
it's
might
gonna
even be on your ears depending on how
your
like.
nose should be running too. You know,
That's what I'm
sometimes
saying.
your nose
You should be
be
tearing up. Your eyelashes should be sliding
I was
off
gonna
your
say you
face.
crying and shit. You are crying like
Yeah.
I'm trying to get E to say something because he has wrote some of the nastiest shit I've.
She's definitely down at like a little church now.
Right, E. Talking with your little demure voice. Hi, I own a garden shop. E, come on.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm just doing whatever I did the night before, and then I'm just gonna write it. Like, I'll get the whole now go write about that after, and then
yeah.
so then you got to get up and you like, yeah, let me write about that real quick. So it's just I don't know personal experience.
yeah,
Especially when
So
you're in
I
that
just go off
moment.
of that.
Goddamn.
I'm
Especially
like,
after the
really
moment.
personal experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Bro, I gotta reach back for this bottle because I need it right now.
And I think what works for me too is I've had the best of both worlds, like, you know, from my younger years to now my adult
Right.
years. So it's like I know on both ends what I could, you know, explore in writing and different things like that. But it's definitely bomb when you're in that moment. Like now my man don't even take offense to it. He be like, you about to go right here and I y'all like yes.
I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go write about it. But it's like, you take, what you did in the past and what you like how you are now, and it's just like, okay, what was you feeling in that moment?
Yeah.
Like even with getting head or giving head or whatever, it's like what was you doing in that moment? How was you feeling in that moment? What was this person doing to you, or people doing to you in that moment?
I
And then
also
you have to express that in
Yes.
your writing.
That's true.
So
I
it's
also
just
want to say,
like, yeah.
oops. I
Oh,
think
go
that it
ahead.
helps when you had like I encourage all women to have a whole face because like inexperience is important. It teaches you exactly what you need to know. You
I
Yeah.
know
don't
when you
regret a
go.
thing.
You know what?
I'm
I
never gonna
encourage
regret
y'all
Don't
anything.
too.
regret a
I
thing.
encourage it.
You know what?
I'm never
I
gonna regret
actually
it.
study sometimes. Sometimes I go watch. I go to
I
X
do
X
too.
X. I go to it. I see like different things, different gestures, and I notate that like, oh yeah, that's going in the next. You know, that's gonna go in the next scene. Because sometimes you, especially if you write a lot of erotica, your biggest fear is making all the scenes sound the same.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Like, you know, you don't want all of your scenes to sound familiar because that's when your readers start skipping pages. Like, oh yeah, they said that in the last one, you know. So you want to make it, you know, exciting and something new. And then too, for me, like it's a lot of things. Because someone asked me about the she male type of thing. No offense if I'm saying it wrong, but um, a lot of women are ashamed to say like I searched this type of shit on XXX men with breasts and different things and fantasize and get turned on about that. And I write about things that I know I probably would never experience, but if I experienced it, I'll ask myself how would I feel. And yeah, like I actually enjoy that. I like that. You know, like damn, if I had two men massaging each feet, one man on this side, one man on the other chest, another man massaging my scalp while one is diving deep. That's like 6, 7 men. Damn, that's a hell of an experience. But will I ever experience that? Hell no, because you know. But
that's
shit,
too
a
many
girl can
people.
dream. A girl can dream. You know.
Dreams, dreams, dreams. Let me get back to the questions because my husband on here.
Yeah, I probably said that a little too much.
but let me talk to the people that write threesomes or polycules or multiple partners. How do you ensure each person has a distinct sexual appetite, voice, or presence? How do you keep it from becoming just more bodies with no intimacy?
How do you keep it just what?
How do you keep it just? How do you keep it from becoming more bodies with no intimacy?
Oh.
Now you have them in the right, like they would in a threesome. The same direction you give them. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Go on. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing with her. I mean,
I feel like
you got to play it out.
you gotta keep that personality in there though.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody's personality still gonna shine through whether they hunching or not. And so a man be like, "Oh, I really like feet," and he looking at your feet while they in shoes out in public. He still need to be on that type of time. You know what's the name? And his homeboy like, "Man, what are you doing staring at feet? That's so weird."
Yeah.
You know. But
That's pretty much what it is. You just like each character, like if you're developing your characters right, and like once you get in that scene, they go have their own personalities. Like
Oh, I could
I
tell
don't
because
overthink my sections. Like I literally just write it, and it just
Oh, I could tell from the hot tub scene in your book.
your characters will tell you who they are though.
yes,
Like some of your characters be like, I eat booty from the back. The other
yeah,
characters be like, riding is my favorite. They tell you who they are.
yeah. I just let it flow out.
From the back.
You write, you write, you write, characters that be getting it in, switching, swinger type thing, type of BDSM type. Everybody is fucking. E, how about you?
Um, I guess it all depends on which characters it is, like who's gonna do what, like what is their personality, how far are they gonna be willing to go. Um, in that moment with whoever, I could say, because they do have hard stops of what they will do and what they won't do and who they will be with. Because if you actually take a step back, not everybody has actually slept with everybody.
Mm,
And so it's just like, okay, I'm willing to do this with however many people. And it's just like, I guess
yeah.
it's just all in the character's personality, like what
Yeah.
they want to do. Like if they just like, listen, I'm trying to get it in. This is what I'm trying to do. I want you, you, or you. That's what they gonna get.
That's true. So, Cole, let me ask you, tell the panel from a male black author point of view, what does sexy, erotic, and nasty mean in your voice from your pen?
Cole finna say something.
Uh,
Yes.
man, yeah, that's high up there, but that's on the nasty side. Se- I don't know, like sexy, just I think the seduction part. I say the sexy part. Um, what's the other one? What's the middle one? What's the middle?
The middle is sexy, erotic, and nasty. You
Okay,
might as
yeah,
well,
erotic is that.
you might as well
I
skip
don't
that.
know. That's erotic's like the sensual, I guess. Which I
You
don't
might as
know
well
that
just
part.
go to
That's why.
nasty. Just go
Yeah,
nasty.
yeah. So the nasty for me is, you know what I'm saying, the tongue fucking ass. Um, you know, like folk, like the foreplay that go into it. Then the like sex right outside your granny house or something. The public shit. Uh, that's the nasty stuff for me.
Lord Jesus. You are
Yeah.
definitely a white man.
I've just
Nigga.
had experiences. I've had experiences.
Experiences.
The lamb squirt in your face and then, licking it up, type, all that
Oh,
stuff.
oh, this nigga is a nigga.
No,
I swear to God.
I feel like we might need to hold a seance and or intervention, but it need to be both at the same time.
My
I've
God.
changed a lot of lives. I don't need no intervention. I'm saving people.
What?
you know
That's exactly
what?
what a cult leader would say.
You know what?
Jesus. What would you tell traditionally publishing right now about sex when it comes to black books? If you had a room full of editors, agents, and big five publishers, what would you say about the way they flatten or sanitize black sex or spice in books?
Leave my shit alone.
Okay.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, that's the reason why I won't get a traditional as we speak right now. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to bend to a certain extent. But as far as like all the different, I know with a lot of traditional, it's a lot of do's and don'ts, like, you know, and I mean, I can challenge myself to do it because I can, but right now I'm not in that place that where I want to be, um, taking this out and making this like this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I feel like I would just say like our stories matter, our voices matter. This isn't, something that is completely unheard of. We have a community. It is obviously, because it's just like Group Trip. Group Trip has already sold over 300 copies. It hasn't even been a week yet, or I think it might just be a week tomorrow.
Mhm.
And so that's my thing, is just give us a chance. Obviously, we have the audience, we have a backing, and to be honest, I feel like they kind of watch the indies now to see what will and won't sell.
Mhm.
But
I
they see a lot of our indie stuff is really selling.
Like really, really feeling. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is erotic freedom? Is it revolutionary for Black authors? What are we reclaiming when we write sex and pleasure without shame?
Wait,
Humanity.
say that
That
one more time.
Humanity, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Humanity.
that we beyond the narrative they try to paint around sex.
Yeah.
What is the favorite body part that y'all focus on when and why? What body part do you love writing most? And how do you make it intimate, hot, or emotional? What is the favorite besides the dick and the clit?
I
What
love
is
nipples.
Oh,
Mine's the ass. On
You know what I'm
game.
about to say, and it don't make no sense because it like it kind of makes sense, but it don't. But like the back, like especially the spine or the shoulders, I feel like there's so many nerve endings there, and just like the right just tickle is just sets it off every time.
Lord Jesus?
yeah.
Learn
I was
from me.
thinking the same thing because my male main character is always gonna be like wide shouldered and like
I love broad shoulders, but
I
you know
like
what?
broad shoulders in my and I was just writing the male character and I was like they gonna be like Blossom right the same.
You know what? I'm guilty of it too. Don't feel bad. I even if they're short, I love broad shoulders, but that's because
Like
that's
I
the
need
kind of
broad
men I
shoulders.
go for in real life.
Yep. I said I need broad shoulders. All my main characters be tatted. Like they all got tattoos. I got
What
that.
about the rest of y'all?
So, you know.
I said
I
mine.
like I like nipples. I feel like people don't get enough attention there, and that's like my favorite. Like I love that. Like that's just like
What body part did you say?
the start.
He said the nipples.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fact.
Even
Yes,
on
she do.
men.
Yes, she do.
Yeah, even on men.
Even on men. You know, all them macho men be like, what the heck? I don't like that shit. Yes, you do.
They be
Yes, you do.
clamping nipples over there.
I don't know. I see a man get his nipples flicked or licked or whatever in a book. I be like, oh, this bitch did her research. I be getting so excited, kicking my feet.
What about the rest of y'all? Where's the body part?
What the hell is in my house?
Mm.
Ace.
Nipples, I agree. Nipples and thighs.
Thighs?
Yeah.
I definitely agree with thighs too. I think
I
the
agree with that.
clit
Yeah.
I
What?
think it's not talked about enough. Like the inside of the thighs.
Why thighs?
Thighs, your thighs are sensitive. The inside of your thighs, I think it's like the nerve endings there too. Like they don't pay attention to like the kissing, the touching right there, or using whatever right there. I just think that's important too.
Okay. So, how do you show characters in control of their own pleasure and sexuality, especially in a world that consistently that denies that to black bodies? So, how do you own your own pleasure and sexuality in your book?
I say like telling the person that you with what you want. Like this is what I want done.
And how I want
And I
it.
want that person to watch. Or whatever. This is where
I
I
don't know.
want to
Add
do
that
it
little
at.
whatever. You said what you said.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying.
You
Like,
gotta
or whatever.
decide
Like, it could
that
be,
Or
it could be
whatever.
whatever is meaning. Like, you could be asking 2 to 3 people to watch. You could be
Lord,
saying, put me in the center stage. So it's like, whatever. Like, however you want to do it.
my virgin ears.
But that's,
Oh my God.
You're virgin.
taking taking back your own power with
Who said
saying, this
virgin
is what I
ears?
want. Like, if this is what I want and this is what I expect you to give me.
version. Oh my
I know
god.
your ears ain't nowhere near no version.
You're right.
Right.
Talk about my virgin ears. Kill me with that one.
Just lying.
What
With the
about the
whole
rest
book
of
box
y'all?
behind you.
Huh?
Uh-huh.
Huh? I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm a
Okay.
nightmare.
Because I saw you.
Right.
Who? What I
I saw
do?
you.
I do nothing.
I saw you. Mass P saw you too.
You tell me what?
I feel like one thing I'm gonna write about is a man that's comfortable with his sexuality. Either he like boys and he admit it out loud, or he like having fingers in his ass and he still admit it out loud. Like that's one thing I'm gonna write.
Wait.
I'm just saying, like I've written about that. Like if y'all
Man,
read
like getting the gooch done too. I'm gonna
Right.
put that in the next book. By the way, I am gonna add that.
He like having his gooch tickle, you know, with a little feather action.
Yo, it's Cold's face. His face
I got
is
a character named.
what?
I got a character
man.
named Facts in my Forbidden Love book that I'm writing, and he likes that.
I'm hollering. Cause it's Cole was agreeing with y'all until
I lost you on that code.
Facts.
What?
And
His
a
whole
whole
face
nother
went, wait,
thing.
what?
my
I hope
God.
somebody took a screenshot of that so we can make that into a meme in a black book.
His face went from yeah to
Hell no.
Right yet.
No.
He said, "What the hell, y'all?"
What the hell?
oh my God, that was too funny. So let me ask you about how long sex scenes are. Is it a quick 2-burner page, a slow burning 3-page symphony, or does it depend on the vibe? How do you decide when a scene is done?
If it's so, sometimes I have scenes where it's like, oh, the man got to get your ass in check real quick. Like, you know, that'll be a quick scene, but not if my scenes ain't. I don't even know if the quick scenes are quick scenes. To be honest, I don't like quick scenes.
You don't like quick scenes, man.
I be
No,
rubbing my
nobody
hands
is
together like Birdman.
Nobody
Like,
is.
you know
But
how they
what
try
was
to say, oh, don't add no fluff to the book. When I get to the sex scenes, I be happy for that because it's like I can make this shit as long as I want to make it. There's your fluff right there. You know, that's where you're gonna get, if you want to call it fluff, I don't know, but I ain't rushing my sex scenes. I'm just not doing that. I'm not gonna do it.
That's why I be like, if I'm struggling for word count, I be like, that's okay because the next scene is a sex scene, so I know we got
Man, that's one thing. My sex scenes is always, especially if you're trying to be descriptive or if they're in like a secret place. Like I got one where they like fucking in a museum and he like shut up, you know, remind her like be quiet type shit. Like I feel like it just depends on like the setting, what you're trying to accomplish. Like if he getting like Master P said, he getting her in check, like what's going on, you know, type situation. It just really depends on what you got. What y'all got going on? Where are they at? Is this the first time? Is this one of their many times? Is this the first time that they've seen each other in a while? You know, is somebody mad at somebody else? Type beat.
Yeah, I purposely made my long because of being locked up. Like we don't want no short scenes. Like we need, you know what I'm saying? We need that shit. We about to go sit in the bathroom, you know what I'm saying, with the curtain up. We're gonna be in there for
Done.
about 45 minutes.
I
I feel like
swear.
somebody need to light an incense right now. Like we need some.
I need my little fan up in here.
No, I can't write short sex scenes because I'm like, if it's not short when I'm doing it, why am I gonna write a short sex scene?
My
Facts.
question is, what
It's
is
gonna
y'all
be even
definition
longer
of
because the
short?
descriptors are gonna be there. I'm writing the lead up, foreplay, like all of that's going on.
Like I need all
Right.
I need all of it.
Exactly.
And then like when they be silent sex scenes, nobody's saying anything.
Nobody's
Why are your
saying
characters
shit.
not
Oh my
talking?
gosh.
Facts. I do not like quiet sex. I cannot stand that.
Why are we playing silent library? She not moaning or talking shit or nothing. She just laying there, just hands over her chest crossed. Oh,
Everybody locked up, bitch.
Nah, I can't do that.
I hear all of what y'all saying, but I have a question. Are your spicy scenes, you nasty motherfuckers, are they inspired by real moments,
I think they've already answered
fantasy,
that.
or pure creative exploration? Has art imitated life or vice versa?
Yes.
I think they answered
Every
that for you
time,
already.
every
Who
time,
said yes?
yes.
Who said yes? Because I read y'all books. Who said yes? Cole, I don't expect nothing less.
I'm sure, like, mine is not inspired by my life. Some things, but I
Mine are. I'm gonna write some shit.
I
I
just
do
went on a
that.
regular cruise.
Wait a minute, she did. What the hell? What the
No,
hell?
I ain't never walked in the wrong house and fucked the nigga. Like walked in the wrong house.
Cause I'm about to say, what the hell?
I'm just saying, like the shit that they do, I've done a lot of that.
Man,
So
you need that role play scenario right there.
Now, wait.
That is a good role play scenario.
That is a
India,
great role
wait a
playing
minute.
scenario.
Wait a minute. India, Masterpiece, and Eve, and Aria. Wait a minute. Is this life imitating art?
They real quiet.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Repeat your question one more time. I'm over here
I
making
want to know
candles.
if the spicy scenes that y'all write, is it life imitating art or art imitating life, or are they just fantasies or pure creative exploration? Let me know. Cause y'all some nasty.
Look, cause that's because you be over there clipping nipples.
Wait, I be doing
You
what?
be over there clipping
Which
nipples.
which I guess it depends on which scene, I guess.
It do for
Depends on
me.
which
It
scene you
always
talk
depends.
about.
It depends on the scene too for me.
What?
Wait, I'm sorry. Parker threw me off. I really don't want to ask. Say that question one more time for me.
I said, are the spicy? Are the spicy scenes inspired by real moments, fantasy, or pure creative exploration? Have
Okay,
you
I
ever
get what you're saying.
imitated
Okay,
life or vice versa?
so a lot is real life. Now some of it is fantasy. Some of it is stuff that I wish I could do, but no, I'll never be able to do.
Wait, some of this is real life?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I feel like people don't expect us to be having times because we bookworms. Bookworms be having times.
Where is
I
her?
got all the
Oh
Do
yeah. A
time.
lot
y'all
of it is
read
real
what y'all
life.
All
write?
the time. You,
Wait, do y'all
the
read
book
what y'all
community
write?
got all the freaks in the book community. Okay.
Oh my
Like it's
god.
definitely a
All
blend
the
because
house
we be
reads.
having times.
I've been to
About to
all kind
find
of parties,
inspiration
especially like in
tonight.
my early 20s. I've been to parties that you like if you read about it in a book, you wouldn't even think it's true. I've been to some
Right.
You can find a party if you know the right people quite easily.
Mm-hmm.
thank
I've
you.
you know what? I want to write a book. What is that called? Voyeurism.
Oh
Voyeurism.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna like say too much right now, but yeah, like in my early 20s was a hit. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm peeping out everybody that I know is gonna be at my club in Chicago. I'm peeping it out right now.
I'm definitely gonna come in there. I mean, I'm gonna just come and
Okay.
watch,
I'm
just to
already
see what
peeping it out
just to see what it's
at
like.
this moment. So, what is the next chapter for Black erotic literature? What is the next chapter for those of you that write sexual scenes that are not of the norm, that is comfortable? So, are we moving to darker, kinkier, freer spaces, or are we still fighting for basic sexual freedom on the page?
You know what? I think I'm gonna write what I want to write, and if you along for the ride, then great. Buckle up. I love to have you, but I just don't see myself sanitizing and trying to prove that I deserve to write what I want to write. It's
Yeah.
probably gonna get worse from here, just because enough of y'all indulge me with group trips. So I'm why not? Why not?
Yeah, I think
Honestly,
it's freedom to write with what you want to write because we indie authors, we all consider indie authors. Like it ain't no limitation to what we want to write in our books. And in a lot of if there's a lot of I know it's a lot of readers in here. If some stuff is not your cup of tea, a lot of times Kindle Unlimited skip the trigger warnings because people was trying to tell me my book didn't have trigger warnings, and my book do have trigger warnings. But sometimes when you open that, when you download the book, it goes straight to chapter one.
yeah.
Go back, scroll back, and look at them trigger warnings because I even say it's threesomes, it's this, it's that. I tell you what's going on so you can have that option because I feel like everybody is entitled to that. Like if you don't want to read about certain stuff, I don't want to read about kids getting certain stuff done to them. So if it say that, I might close the book. It might be my favorite author, but if I know that ain't for me, I'm gonna close the book. So always look at that because now I know what it feel like to be that author that hold back. It's especially in erotica. Like I held back so much in my other books that I wanted to put in there, but I'm like, no, they say they don't really the master to my pieces. Oh, I didn't like the girl on girl. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. Grow the fuck up or don't read it. That's just how I feel at this point. Because I'm not finna be. This is my mind, and my mind. A lot of things go through my mind for ideas for my books, and I'm not gonna cap my ideas and my creativity to make other people feel, like, oh, okay, this is safe. Like my shit ain't safe. I'm telling you
Right.
that
It's
now. It
not a
ain't
safe
safe.
place.
Okay,
And I high
Right.
key agree
It's
because
just gonna get worse.
I agree
if
with
you
that.
imagine like sanitizing some of your best work, like some of the best things you've ever put out here to make people feel better. Like you miss out on so many great, wonderful ideas and just, putting stories out there and so many different interactions. And I don't feel like it's worth it. Like that is just not
It
a
defeats the
trade, a risk
purpose.
that's worth trading off my creativity for. It's for me.
That's how I feel. I feel like it defeats the purpose.
It
Like
does.
I'm an author because I want to tell my own
Exactly.
stories and create
Yeah.
my own world and do things that I don't get to do or show people things that they don't get to do. So like I don't want to be. We have enough restrictions on our day to day life.
If
Like when
I
I'm
want to have a
writing, I'm
seven
not
person
putting no
train,
restrictions.
right? Like if I want to have a 7 person train, why not?
Yeah.
I'm not putting no restrictions in my writing. We have
A
to do
man
that.
or a woman is allowed to dream. I am a mother of three. My kids are hella spaced out, 14, 10, and 3. And I'm at home all day.
Okay.
I when I write, it's my therapy for stuff I went through in the past, and it's also like a movie that I look at it like I'm writing out a movie. So when y'all reading it, y'all
Yeah.
feel like y'all in a movie. You know what I'm saying? So this is
Mhm.
it's like therapy, and I enjoy it too. Like I enjoy creating. I enjoy when I read other authors' books. This is why I started writing, because when I would read other authors' book, I would say, "Oh, I wish they would have did this like this, or they could have did this like that."
Yeah.
I'm in control. I can do whatever I want. I create these
Mm-hmm.
characters. I live through some of them. Like that freedom that they have. It even like a lot of people complain about people being rich, having money. Shit, I like to dream about
You
that.
want to write about
Where
broke
I ain't got no financial issues, and I got the perfect man, and I got
That be
nannies
pissing
and
me
shit
off
like
because,
that helping me
like,
with these kids.
Yeah.
Cause I ain't got it in real life.
that's why that be pissing me off because, like, okay, yeah, all of us have had financial troubles at some point or another, but why the fuck you want to read about somebody's life getting cut off?
Yeah.
Now I do enjoy sometimes writing about the struggle, and then
But
they
they
come
get
up.
happy. Like gotta be a come up.
Right. They not.
Yeah.
It gotta be a come up. Like, you just
That's a
going
come
through all
up.
of this for hell.
And
I even
people
like when it's
read.
a woman that's broke as hell walking down the street, shirt sticking to her back, and then a fine ass YN pull up with the beat going and the smoke coming out the window. Let me give you a ride, and then her whole life turn around. Shit.
Yes.
Yeah, that's look. Yeah.
Because I was like, I write fiction. Okay. I write fiction. If you want to read a document, like you want to read a
She's so good.
Autobiography. Go read one.
autobiography, you know,
Right.
But
it's
I mean,
plenty of
that could
those
be
where you can
reality
read.
for some. It's not like it's all fiction. I mean, it could be somebody's reality one day. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like, especially with like even with the the poly and people doing like group sex and shit, like that shit that people probably low key want to do or they do behind the scenes.
Yes.
And reading these books and stuff like that, it opens up the door. It opens that door for them and make them feel, be comfortable with who you are and what you like, what you enjoy.
Yeah.
People like us enjoy stuff like that too. It ain't just other. It's not other ethnicities. We can do it too. And it's
Yeah.
okay for you to enjoy that as a black man or a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree, and I feel like art, especially literature, is something that can be really liberating and it can change, the landscape of reality because you're reading about enough books that's telling you it's okay for you to explore and learn and do different things.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, you're going to be moved to do it and maybe moved to encourage other people to try different things. And
Yeah.
that's not about sex. That's about traveling. Just
Mhm.
anything. It could be about anything that you're reading about. So
Yeah.
I definitely think that it holds a certain power to influence the people around us and change landscapes. So I don't. That's another reason why I don't feel like we should be sanitizing anything. Life changes and it comes at you fast.
Mhm.
100 years ago, women weren't allowed to wear pants. So
Exactly.
look at us now.
Right.
So let me ask the people, the authors on here that write urban fiction or street lit. Do you think street lit and urban fiction already lived in the dark romance space before it got trendy? Did did we just not have the label, or was the industry unwilling to give us the credit?
Yeah,
Yes, it
I
was so
think
many
it
people getting
has.
kidnapped and held hostage, and then falling in love, especially in a lot of the older books that I read. It had a lot of
And the
things.
torture.
The torture, yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
definitely dark. A nigga do that shit to you in real life, you ready to call the police.
I'm
So let
telling
me
you. You are going to jail, my nigga. I swear to
yeah.
God. What the
So
fuck?
listen, because
Prison.
you been quiet. The females been running this, and you got the mouth of the South, nigga. What the fuck is up?
What? He ain't been running nothing. Uh, no, I said that the dark has been in there, like, cause, uh, like when people talk about like dark stuff for me, I feel like I already blend that stuff in my books. Cause
Mm,
I speak on, the dark stuff,
mhm,
of the street life, cause it goes on. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing to hear about a drug dealer burning somebody up in their own car, or or like chopping limbs off and stuff like that. That stuff happens, and I feel like I that stuff has been in books, but not to the uh like the extent they is now. Like,
mm,
it's more common now, but it's in there already. Like, urban fiction has already crossed into that
mm,
line, even with the sex spicy, whatever title you want to put on it, is in there, but I think it's elevated in the works now compared to like what I grew up reading, you
So
know.
let me ask Masterpiece and E. You both write in a darker spectrum of romance. So how do you think that your writing has elevated from what people are used to what you write now?
I think as far as like my wordplay and just my writing style has changed a little bit. And I felt like in order for me to write that, like, because now I'm back writing a quick urban romance and I'm speeding through it. But with the dark romance, I have to take my time. I also have to, it's darker elements as well. So I have to literally step into that, step into certain characters. Whereas the urban romance just comes easy for me. Um, the dark romance, I feel like I have to be more descriptive as far as like to make my readers feel more. It's kind of hard to explain, but I definitely feel like it's a challenge for me. It might not be for E because E like he kills it. But for me, stepping into it, um, it's a challenge. It takes more time for me, but I like it. I actually love it because it's like I can just go far. I can go
Mm,
more further than what I can with an urban romance without somebody telling me, "Oh, this is not urban romance." Because I've had
mm,
people tell me from past books, like The Master to My Pieces, like that was kind of dark. Like, oh, that was a little dark from the certain things that happened. So with this book, I feel like can't nobody tell me that.
okay. What about you, E?
I think because I kind of carried over because I started out in fantasy and paranormal, so everything was descriptive, and I wasn't gonna change that or change the way that I write for genre. That was like specifically one of the main reasons why I didn't try to even engage in urban romance because it was not going to be like that. Like, so if you already read my paranormal, you already know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I was like, if I'm going to do something stepping into that type of genre, I'm going to have to make it my own. So, like, Product of the Street is like a mix between erotica, street lit, maybe a little bit of romance. It ain't a lot. You might got a little bit, but it ain't a lot. But it's like a mixture between the two because that's what keeps me engaged. I have to want to write this story. Like, yeah, I'm writing it for readers, but I have to want to write this story to see it through to the end. So it's got to be, definitely has to be something that I'm interested in. And so everything that was put into that story was things that I was interested in or have done or have seen and stuff like that. So it's just like, um, I don't know. It wasn't hard to switch between the two. The only reason why it was slightly hard is because it was hard not putting a vampire or a werewolf inside a product of the street. Because, it's not fantasy. So it's like that was the only hard switch between the two. But as for like wordplay, um, I just feel like it's just fun. Like that's why I'm like, nah, this has to be a different genre because I don't want to have to switch my writing style or the way that I write, especially in multiple points of views and stuff like that, because people don't really know about it. So a lot of people followed me from the paranormal community and they already knew how I wrote. So it was a lot easier for them to grasp onto it. But I also found, a whole bunch of new readers by writing this book, and they didn't actually know like how I wrote. So it was a learning curve with that. Like trying to get people to understand, I guess, like what I'm talking about, and like trying to educate people as well on what I'm talking about inside the book, because a lot of people did think that it was fiction or it was too much, or they just trying to like censor what you're trying to say. So each book progressively gave out more, because now you like, dang, I'm interested in that. What's going on with that? And then the next book you get more of it. So by the time you get to 4, you full blown ready to go behind the curtain.
Hell yeah.
Like, so it was almost like, yeah, it was like edging, basically. Like, here's a little bit. Here you go. You think you're ready for that? Okay, here's book 2. You ready for that? So they,
Because that
it's
doctor
just.
book, the way you started that doctor book, boy. I said, you know what? I cannot read this just yet because the setting I'm at, I need to be in my room with my book lamp, rubbing my toes to be able to start this.
I tried to tell people that. I told people that when people were going into book 4 or reading Doctor's Woods, I was like, listen, don't be at work.
Yeah, you
Don't
can't.
don't be at work.
This is off topic. Do y'all remember when Brett had that whiteboard topic and it was like authors who look like they bake cookies and do community service, and then they books be like this? Eve Bowser is exactly who came to mind immediately.
And what did I write on that? I was like, I actually do bake cookies and do communities.
But
Yeah, for me, I was really I was less on the description, and I always wanted to up my description in writing because I'd be so excited to just get the story out. I never really cared to take the time to get into my description bag. I'll give a little description, but
wait, you did in your sci-fi books.
Yeah, that was Forevermore. So that was like I had to come.
You were very descriptive, and it was so you sleep in these comments are sleeping on these fucking books, but they were so good. But I also want to address T. Lynn because you quiet. I'm gonna get to you, India too, and Blossom, because y'all think y'all getting away with murder, but this is my show, so I am going to address all of y'all. So, T. Lynn, you write urban fiction. You also have eroticism to your books as well. So how do you play with that? How does your descriptiveness or your wordplay, or how do you go about writing these books in a way that is loud and focus on the bodily autonomy of Black people?
I don't know. I sort of just do it, I guess. Like, I don't know. I've never been ashamed to be a woman or be Black or, So I've always been vocal about those things. I don't think there's anything that we should be ashamed about. So I'm always, I don't know, I'm always highlight that kind of stuff and be very descriptive in it because I mean, again, we experience all of this stuff just like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't we? Like the color of my skin or my body, you know, my extra body parts or lack thereof don't, you know, they don't not exist. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a, I mean, it's an important thing to highlight. I don't know. I just always been free about everything. My sexuality,
It's hell.
my color, the color of my skin, and everything. So.
I could tell. I could tell. I could tell. India,
Huh?
you be having them squirting all over the place. You be having them squirting all over the place. I don't think you have a problem. Some of y'all on this panel, I really believe y'all don't have a problem whatsoever. Y'all be, if it ain't the title this nasty, it's the words in the books. So, Andy, how? What about you? What you do? How does this come out from you?
I just write. I don't, you know, I just do it. You know, like Tiffany said, I don't really think about, you know, like I just write it, you know, and I think it's important to be descriptive with writing any genre or most genres, but I think with erotica, you're trying to paint the scene, you know what I'm saying? So you can get the person to feel what you're writing. You want them in the moment with the characters. So I feel like adding those descriptions and, you know, explaining how stuff is happening as it's happening, I feel like that's important. And that helps, you know, bring the reader in. And then that way, like, they holding on, they on the edge of their seat, like even during the sex scenes, they on the edge of their seat. You know, I just really think that's important. And I like, you know, I like description and I like that. That's another thing I love about like not holding back, you know, and being indie, you know, because you can do it how you want to, and you can be as descriptive as you want, and you can, you know, paint the scene how you want to, you know, to entertain your readers. I think that's real important. So when you're doing that, you don't have no room to hold back anyway. You know what I'm saying? You write it exactly how you want it, how you want it, or how you see it, how you're imagining it, or how it's playing out in your head. Because sometimes I think it was Masterpiece that said about not wanting your scenes, your sex scenes to be the same. So, and that's important to not want them to be the same. But it's like, dang, what I'm gonna do now? Because I don't had this person has sex this way and that way. I need a break because you know I gotta go think. You know, so when you thinking, sometimes I think about the next scene and I think about you know how I want them to have sex or where I want them to have sex and stuff like that. I like for them to be all over the place too. I don't like everybody to always be in the bed. I don't like everybody always to be in the bed or at home. I want them to be, you know, to explore
On the
life.
kitchen,
You know.
on the countertop, standing up, on the window seat, outside, in the fucking dressing room. I can
In
tell.
traffic, on the freeway, in traffic. But
God damn. But
yeah, I just think that's important.
so I'm gonna go Kold, and then I'm gonna go Blossom, and then I'm gonna get to you, Aria, because the way I have to come at you is gonna be a different way. But Kold, you as well, you write urban fiction and you write it straight gutter sex. Like nigga about to break her back. For real. For real. I'm not even playing. I'm not even joking. I'm dead ass. If you read his books, especially okay, what was the one? Fiction, what is it called?
True fiction.
The what's the title of it?
True fiction.
True
Yeah.
Fiction. If you read that, Scandalous, and the Cotty, the Cootie,
The Cotty Mob. Yeah.
the Cotty Mob, this is a YN nigga. The way he fucking is YN ways. It is that young nigga that got a bitch sprung type toxic dick. So please tell us, Cole,
Tell you what.
tell us, how do you make sure that your scenes are descriptive but and yet get the point across?
I'm a good visualizer. Base it off of uh interactions I've had with females, and experiments. And I just, especially while I was locked up, that's all I got to think about is the ones I had. So, I just close my eyes and visualize and write. Um, so I like it to be authentic on what I know I would do or be interested in doing if I haven't done it. Uh, so the description for me is just starting like, how do I start out? I know I'm gonna eat it, so that's gonna be first, and then I just go from there in stages.
Jesus. Why? Oh, Blossom, you have had sexual experiences from whether it was the psycho, in a elevator. They live next door to each other, but they used to fuck around. To the abominable snowman, and they were twins. To twins that wasn't paranormal. How do you do it? You're on mute.
Child, I did not know I was on mute. Okay. I watch a lot of corn. And when I write in my head, that's what in my head I'm like, I just want this to read like like I want it to read like that on page. So that's literally like if I have a certain thing like when I was writing Leak It, like I ain't never had nothing like that. I had no experience to draw from. So I just watch a lot of the things that they say to her, how they or touch her, all that is coming from that. So that's literally when I write them. When I write my scenes, I'm like, I want this to read like, like it's over there on that XXX site, and that's just how I get it. Like that's just how I get my inspiration and where I draw from, and so for a lot of it.
Okay. Now, Aria. Oh, it be so many dicks I can't keep up with it. Aria, you have writing from the someone with the spectrum to being asexual to glory hole to they got taken down by the hockey players to it's always an adventure in your book of getting the pussy beat up. um you are you are the your nickname should be Slut Me Out.
Am
So
I on trial?
so
It sound like you on fire.
what do you do? How do you make sure that your books are descriptive and they come across that somebody about to cut something?
I feel like I feel like I'm the slow burn queen, and I don't know how else to explain it. I feel like it's just something so magical about the build up, the foreplay, making sure that people had chemistry, making sure that characters are able to express their chemistry. In real life, I am the slow burn queen. Like I like men being forced to chase. I got to make them work for it a little bit. So part of it is from drawing from experience. Other parts is just really looking at people's personalities and thinking about, how this would come across as their actions. That's one thing that I have really, really, really bad that my husband just, talks about me for every chance he gets is that I people watch. I people watch. I come up with scenarios in my own head. They could be probably 75% accurate most of the time, just because you get to a point where you could pretty much humans. I'm not saying everybody is predictable, but everybody kind of got their things. The flows and ebbs and flows. So
You
my
just got
advice.
called out, man.
I was just over here like,
She's talking about
writing
slow
slow
burn.
burns?
I ain't read nothing but the only slow burn I've ever read from ARIA DAZE is Candid and Blue.
Wait,
That
hold
is it.
on. Okay,
Nah,
Glory wasn't a slow
nah.
burn, but I feel like that hasn't come out yet. Truth and Consequences is kind of a slow burn. I feel like Brady Hatchet was a slow burn.
Even your New Year's Day book was not a slow burn.
I don't feel like that's fair. Who's listen?
If I didn't
See,
learn
they need to go back
anything,
to bullying you.
It not okay, Aria. I believe that you think in your head that they are slow burns. For us to read them, we do not see that. We do
It
not.
become a hard and fast, y'all. My
because
bad.
when I was introduced to you, I would say it was like on the first page, the first sentence.
The first sentence do be a little wild. Recently, it's been a little wild. I've been trying to calm it down. You know what? Blossom?
I think we all delusional, y'all.
We might be.
Nah, because one for the team, like when she posted her first page, I went and got that bitch immediately. I said, I got what the fuck is going on. And it wasn't nothing slow going on about that motherfucker. I swear.
Nothing.
I second that. Me too.
She's about a slow burn. I was over here like, what?
I'm telling you, she said,
I'm
"Queen of
telling
slow
y'all,
burn."
the
I said,
only
shit,
slow
I ain't
burn,
read one yet.
the only slow burn she got is Candid. That is the only slow burn she got.
And he was literally asexual, which is crazy. Like, he was literally asexual.
But when it got down to it, he wasn't too much asexual.
He was gray sexual. I always tell people asexuality is a spectrum. These was gray sexual. He wanted to freak on one particular person, and that was it. Anybody else was off, was not on the radar.
Now, Aria be having y'all setting y'all up for failure. Y'all about to be touching something.
Wait.
Y'all about to be multiple something sometimes.
Listen. Like Blossom said, sometimes it do be the corn. Now, I won't lie and pretend like I watch, the savoriest things. Sometimes it get a little sketchy. Not kid sketchy, but it get a little sketchy. But yeah, so sometimes it's that.
All the gangbang.
Listen. I always tell people, like, if I could have any job that I want, I would own my own corn company and I would just write corn for women. Mm-hmm. And it would be a very specific kind. It wouldn't be no pounding. Ain't no woman getting slapped in the face during, because I hate when they do that. I immediately turn it off. But like that. It depends. Okay, so listen, if it's interracial and the man is not black, we got a problem. It be giving something else.
I don't watch that.
Well, if you're trying to get into like and this is another issue I have with the industry, queer stuff for people of color is very few and far between. So if you're looking for something queer, 9 times out of 10, like where the man queer, it's always a other involved.
That's just because, just like all the industries, it's the ism is over there too.
Yeah. So I done questions y'all asked enough. You know what I'm saying? Everybody have realized that y'all some freaky ass motherfuckers. And for real. So we're gonna start with Kold. What's your latest release or current project that you want people to reach out? And if you have giveaways, let them know that as well.
Yes, so my latest release is Ducati Mob. I'm release part 2 next week. I do have a giveaway on Sunday. I'm giving 2 people gonna get New to the Streets and Heart of the Streets. Then for 5 other people, I'll buy one of my titles on Kindle for them. So yeah, that's it.
Blossom.
What we do? I have a new release coming out next week, May 29th. Unexpected Path. It is not an erotica. Not an erotica, but y'all know that it's got spice in it because I ain't writing nothing that don't have no. I ain't writing nothing that don't have no spice. So.
Lynn?
My latest release is Velvet Secrets. I am working on the full story to them. Well, their full story. Yeah, Velvet Secrets is an erotica, and their full story will be a continuation of that. So, yeah.
India?
Um, I got a new book coming out. I don't know when it's coming out though, because it's supposed to come out this month, maybe, or maybe next month. I don't know, but it's coming.
Nice, coming.
I plan. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I'm working on it, but I like horror, so I'm trying to do like my first erotic horror sometime this year, and
Say what?
yeah,
Oh.
and I'm also working on. But I'm very nervous, so I don't know if it's gonna come out this year or next year either. But my first erotic dark romance.
I
Uh,
have a copy of it.
I,
Oh.
I'm working on all of those, so I'm nervous about them because that's new to me. Both of those are new to me, but yeah, um, and that's it for now.
Masterpiece?
So my latest release was the Fifth Kings 2. Right now I am working before I say, okay, yeah, so my latest release was the Fifth Kings 2. Out of 150 book boxes, I only have 20 left. So those are getting ready to sell out. My next release is supposed to drop in June, which is Forbidden Love. It is an urban romance. It's just something there to take the edge off. Unfortunately, it's going longer than I thought because I'm looking at it. I was writing right now, but it is an urban romance. It's for my urban romance readers because I felt a little bad with Phil Kings. So some of my urban romance readers did not read Phil Kings, and I respect that because that's not their cup of tea. So I said if I am going to be doing dark romance, I'll kind of go back and forth between like urban romance and dark romance, to make sure I'm giving my day ones what they fell in love with from me, but I won't box myself. So right now I am working on an urban romance book, but it is off the chain. It does have a lot of drama, a lot of funny scenes, a lot of spicy scenes. So, yeah.
Okay. Eve, what's going on?
So my next release will be coming out in June, and that's one of my paranormal releases, Shades of Desire. And then I'll be working on, I guess, like the spinoff to Prodigal Street with Creed and the rest of the AOK family. And I probably jump back and forth between my paranormal and the erotica because last year I didn't get any paranormal done, so
Yes, you
I
did.
have to get that out. But the next release should be coming out, and once that comes out, I'll probably do a giveaway. So I'll probably put that on my website. So just be watching out for that.
Okay. On the smut sorceress Aria, what you got for us?
So my latest release was Group Trip that came out. I want to say last Tuesday. I don't know. The week has been a blur for me. But my next one will actually be contemporary romance. Kinda, it'll be kind of dark as contemporary romance because she do get kidnapped a little bit. But that will be Truth and Consequence, and it is book 2 in the Sordid South Tales. So it talks about the Hatchet family and the Bray family. It will be femdom, so the Virgin FMC is going to be dominating the, ran through MMC, teaching him a thing or two. I'm really excited about that one. But yeah, I'll have paperbacks of group ship though, of course, at Black Romance Festival, and then I'll probably do a special edition of that at the end of the year with like some pictures and stuff in there for the collector girlies.
I know you're supposed to be in Chicago for the Boozy Book Tour. Can I for those of us who couldn't get tickets to the Black Romance Festival, will I be able to get a copy of that?
So, like I said, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a special edition because October is going to be my last month out city. I'm not releasing anything after that. I'm not going nowhere after that. I'm gonna be in the house, rubbing my feet together, catching up on my book pile. So I will probably end up doing my special edition then once I get all of my animations and stuff together, and I'll end up having Shannon do the what's the name, and then it'll be available probably on the 18th, the October 18th weekend.
My husband gonna hate you, but I'm gonna love you. Okay, so where can we find you guys? What events are you going to? Starting with Cole, and let us know.
I'll be doing the Boozy Book Tour in Chicago in October. And I'm doing the what's
First
that
family.
one in huh?
First family. First family.
Yeah, the First Family in Augusta in October 31st through the 2nd as well. And you can find me on here on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I got a group called Urban Life Lit. And then my link trees and my bio on here as well for everything.
Before blocking start, T-Land, you don't have to be invited. You can just sign up. Ours is just like open. There's no invite for that. You just sign up and we got you. You just got stuck me out.
She knows she could have said that when we got to her box.
I
Wait,
wasn't.
what's the
I was
group
like, I didn't
chat?
hear nothing.
What's
Go
the
ahead,
group
Blossom.
chat?
Go ahead, Blossom.
I am going to be at Black Romance Fest next week. Right. I will have my new release, Unexpected Past. I do have some of those. And then I will be in Atlanta again for the Gem Awards. I'll be in Chicago for Jessica's events. And then I'll be at Southern Hearts.
Okay, you got any new books coming out? You got any new books coming out besides the one you told us about?
You trying to get me to tell my secrets. This is a hot girl summer for me, y'all. So I got a lot of books coming out.
And tell them about your event. You got a book event?
Oh, I do have a book event. I be forgetting. I do have a book event next year, May 2nd, in my hometown in St. Louis. Petals and Prose. It's me and Brianna Michelle.
I want to
So we are opening for authors so we will be doing that soon. But we both are doing Black Romance Fest, so we have to get that out of the way before we could get into our event, get all that together. So
put that on your calendar, authors, so y'all know.
yes, we'll be sending it out and asking people to join us. And if you want to join us, just let us know.
Okay, now T-Land, don't come over here fussing at me.
Oh no, I really didn't know. When you asked about Chicago, I honestly thought you were talking about Jessica's event because that's the first place I met you
Yeah.
2 years ago. Okay, but I'm gonna look. In October I have 2 events. I have Southern Hearts and Boots on the Ground, I think. So I need to look at your dates and see what dates
It's the
you have.
same Boots on the Ground and the Boozy Book Tour 2-year anniversary is the same day.
Same week. Okay, so I won't be able to make that one because I'm going to Books on the Ground. But again, I still send you stuff. But I'll get with you at one of your Boozy Book Tour dates anyways, because I still haven't been to one of those. But I'm doing Black Romance Book Fest next month. I mean next weekend.
Next
I'm
week.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sick, y'all. So next weekend I'll be in Atlanta, and then I don't have anything over the summer besides, I'll still be dropping books, but October I got 2 events.
Okay.
That's it.
Any new books?
Besides the follow up to Velvet Secret,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, besides the follow up to Velvet Secrets, I'm gonna do Loco. If y'all are familiar with my Masters Brothers series, Loco is Prince's best friend. I'm doing his book, and then I'm doing a paranormal because Storm been asking me to do a paranormal, and I am doing the paranormal.
Look, but I'm glad you know.
Yeah, you've been asking me for it since I met you, actually.
All right. India, shit, I need a paranormal from you with that nasty ass skin you
I'm what I'm supposed to be doing? Oh, I'm going to Ruby Book Tour in Chicago. I'm going to just to watch this Watkins event in Chicago. I didn't know I scheduled all this stuff back to back, but I'm going to everything. And I'm going to Southern Heart, and yeah, I'm going to Southern Heart this year too. I think that's in October. I'm in September. Okay, yeah, yeah. And what other questions was we supposed to
new
do?
book. Any books coming out?
Oh, I can't say the title now, but yeah, yeah, I got a new book coming out, and then the other two that I said sometime this year. But I do got a new book coming out. Either I do the cover reveal probably this week or next week, for the new book, and I think that's it. But I'm fans of everybody on here. I think I got Blossom book by Blossom and Masterpiece, but I need books by everybody else. And Kold, I have to read his book, so I'm gonna go download them. But I read everybody else's books, and I need paperback copies too. I'm just throwing that out there so y'all can make sure y'all got a copy for me when I see y'all, where I see y'all. Just throwing that out there.
All right. Masterpiece, what you got?
So I'm doing I'm doing the Gym Awards in July, and I'll be at Southern Hearts in October, and I'm going on vacation in June. So I don't know. Next year, I'm not probably gonna be taking on too many book events. So I'm gonna make sure I'm very intentional. I know next year for you, I'm definitely doing Vegas, and the other one I'm trying to see if I can come to. And I'm doing New York next year. But yeah, this year I only got probably like 2 left. Yeah, 2 left. I probably got 2 left, which is Atlanta in June. No, in July, and what's that? South Carolina in October.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
and then the next book I mentioned it is urban. It's Forbidden Love.
Is that urban fiction or erotica?
Urban romance, I guess.
Or a little bit of both?
Probably a little bit of both.
Bet. All right. E. E. What you got going on?
Where am I at? I'm gonna be at Boozy in July in Arlington, and then I'll be at Behind the Pen in August. I think it's August 9th on that weekend. So I'll be there, and you can find me here. My website, which everything is in my bio and my link tree, and all the social medias. I'm on everything except for X. I can't go over there. But yeah, I'm everywhere. Or you can jump into one of the 2 groups that I got, either the Product of the Street group or the Deadly Secrets group. I'm always active in there, so that's where I am.
The group's on Facebook. Both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And what about your audio
Both
book?
groups are on Facebook. Yes.
What about your audiobook?
Oh Lord. So I got actually I you know what I forgot. I got Rescue by Fire, which is kinda like a prequel to my paranormal series. And that audiobook is gonna be coming out sometime next week. Um so it's like it's a novelette. So it's really short. It's probably like 2 hours. But it's gonna be immersive. So just make sure you got your headphones on because yeah,
Mm.
it's gonna be like that. And then doctor's orders will have a audiobook. So that
Okay.
should be coming out sometime in June as well. And the rest of the Product of the Street series is being worked on. And the first one will probably come out sometime this summer. So yeah, be looking out for those.
All right, Aria, what you got?
So I will be at Black Women's Book Festival next week, which still feels like it's way too close. Jesus Christ. Thank you for reminding me. I will also be at Bougie Book Tour Chicago in October. I will have probably two more books out for the year. I plan on releasing the book Two Unsorted South Tales, and then I'll have a Halloween novella. Um, that'll be kind of like monster efforts type situation. I don't plan on doing too much next year. I'm gonna be in Vegas. I might also do Black Romance Book Festival again, and I'll probably take out one more event, but that's gonna be the limit. But after October of this year, y'all won't be seeing me for a minute. I'm gonna be rubbing my feet together, like I said.
All right. So I'm gonna ask all of y'all, what would you say to an author who's timid, nervous, or ashamed to write about sex, pleasure, or eroticism? What would be your advice to them?
Be delusional.
Don't be soft.
Cold.
What?
It's too late. Play some R&B. Relax.
I would say don't waste time, because time is of essence. And if you want to do it and you keep saying, oh, but I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I don't want to, it's like you're going to be wasting so much time because most of us had to get it out the mud. Most of us didn't start with a fan base. We just did what we did. And as you grow, you got to keep pushing and doing what you want to do because it's like you will look back like with a mailing list, for instance. I didn't start my mailing list to 2 years ago, but I became an author in 2020. So I be thinking back like, damn, what if I started it then? How big my mailing list would be, even though it's a good amount now. But so I just say that to say today I can say, oh, I'm scared to write a paranormal. And I look up, it's 2 years later, and I'm just putting out my first paranormal. Imagine if I would have started today and then 2 years later, I'm a best selling paranormal author. So it's like when you want to do something, do it. Your people will find you, your readers will find you. It's going to be, you got to understand, it's going to be people that don't like it, people that bash you for it. They, say whatever they say, but then again, it's going to be people that really love it and really can't wait for your next release. So you just got to go for it.
I definitely say just be confident and be true to who you are. I mean,
Yeah.
just because somebody don't rock with it, it doesn't resonate with somebody doesn't mean that that's not the majority, and that's not your readers. It's gonna be you're gonna have readers that love what you do.
Yeah, that's true. Chances are, if you want to write it, somebody want to read it. Somebody has already asked for that exact book.
Yep.
And being true to who you are is real important too. I think that was Keegan said that, but being true to yourself and who you are is important, and not letting anything hold you back. Just writing, the story how you want to write it. I think that's important. It took me a long time to figure out that I didn't have to write my book like I was taught when I first came into the industry, or when it was strongly suggested to me to write a certain way, or a certain style, or not to say certain things, or add certain stuff in my book. So it took me a while to figure that out. that wasn't for me, and I had to grow into my own. So, if you don't like it, you don't like it. But for those who love it, I'm happy you love it, and I'm happy that I stepped outside of my box to write my story my way. And I haven't regretted that. Not once.
Yeah. Anybody else got any more advice?
I agree with everything they said. Just
All
write your
right.
story your way. I feel like when I'm writing the story, that's my safe space. Now, when you put it out,
I feel like advertising and marketing.
My nerves be bad the day before, the day of, and the day before my release day. That's normal.
Oh my god!
I tell all my new authors. I tell all my new authors when they turn their book in, they're like, "Oh, I'm scared." I have 43 books, and I'd be lying if I don't say, "Oh, I don't feel nervous. My anxiety be through the roof." Like I do all the promo and all of that, and then when all the promo for the book is done, I'm sitting with my thoughts like, damn, people are reading right now, what they thinking, like how they feel, it's our baby. We put our all into that. But sometimes some of us lose sleep from it, like we be up really trying to finish our word count for the day, our chapters for the day. So I really wish that a lot of people would understand how much us authors put into this, especially when you full-time independent, not taking away from part-time either, because even with part-time, you trying to juggle working and writing, So I just know for us all, like it's a lot. It's a lot that we put into this. So you are entitled to feel nervous on your release day. You're entitled to be a little scared, wondering what's your feedback gonna be. But the point is, you gotta put it out. You gotta put it out. You can feel how you feel. It get a little bit better, but the feelings is still there. You still nervous. You still got anxiety. You still, biting your nails. Maybe that's all normal. All authors feel that. Not all. I'm not gonna speak for everybody, but I know the majority of us, we have our nerves be bad on release days. I know me. Sometimes I go 24 hours with no sleep on a release day.
Yeah.
Like the first day of school.
Yeah.
My nerves be shot on release day, the day after, and the day before.
That's why I tell people, please don't get offended if you shared it and I don't get around to your post to say thank you. Because sometimes a lot of people be sharing it and I hop off just to relax myself. And then by the time I get back on, I got over 100 notifications. I can't respond to all of that. So if I never, let me just say this now, since there's 42 people in here, if I don't respond at all, just know I appreciate it. I'm never rude or nothing like that. It just sometimes, especially on release days, a lot of people saying happy release, happy release. I appreciate everybody, but understand my nerves be bad, shot.
I feel like you speak for a lot of us because I've definitely done that before where I get too many notifications, I get overwhelmed. I'm like, ooh, I need a hot tea.
It's definitely overwhelming. I'm like,
I copy and paste thank yous half the time. A lot of people don't do
I
that.
copy and paste them. I'll be like, I don't want nobody thinking I'm rude.
I'll do the thank you with the heart. Copy,
change up the emojis.
Paste.
I do that too.
I did that so much that Facebook was like, you can't.
Yeah, they was like, yeah, time out, come back later.
Yeah, they like, you can't repaste this again, spam.
Even under the tag me, like Jazz B text me like, because she in For the Love of Urban Fiction, her L and Aubrey, so like they know like if I do my promotion, and a lot of artists don't do this, but this is a trick. So you post a cover in that group, it's like close to 50K people in there, right? So if over 200, 300 people saying tag me, I save that post. And on my release day, I didn't do it for the last release, but I do it and I tell my authors to do it. I go back to that post and I put available now, or now live. I copy and paste that shit. And Jasby text me like, they trying to hit you for spam. I'll be like, okay, let me go log off. Let me go to my other page and do the same copy, paste. Because a lot of people aren't aware. A lot of readers don't be aware that they just said tag me. They want to be tagged. But you know, a lot of people don't see when you go back to that particular group and put available now, because it's a million authors promoting every day in that group. You got to save your post and get back active on a post that you originally posted.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, before we get out of here, I want to thank all of y'all for coming on Negro in Distress, Black Girl Tired Book Talk. It's always a pleasure talking to all of y'all. I just want the readers to understand, stay black and stay tired in solidarity because we are tired. So, with that being said, I'm gonna get to my church announcement. I'm gonna try to make this shit quick because y'all got a lot of shit. All right. So the Boozy Book Tour is headed to Arlington, Virginia. It was a successful trip in Raleigh. Will we come back to North Carolina? No. But we will be in Arlington, Virginia, July 26th. Then we have Chicago, Illinois, which will be a 3-day event. The meet and greet will be line dancing. I mean, why I say line dance? We'll be stepping. You're gonna learn how to step like we do in Chicago. Then we got the book signing, and then we have the brunch whiskey and mimosa, where you will get to drink unlimited mimosas and wine to your heart's content. The food is on you. The drinks are on us. And then we have Las Vegas. That'll be our second Melanin Ball. One of our two of our highlighted authors are on here. That will be Masterpiece and E. Bowser. Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes. This will be in Las Vegas. This is February 27th through March 1st. This will be a time. This is